It's that time. Champion Gold Executive Suite. We got a list of things to talk about, but at the forefront is SM12. We are days away, and I've just been told I'm doing a face off. So I said, I'm at the door. We got to say it. Yeah, let's leave it there. We'll leave it there. But it's going down. Face offs on Friday. Days away. The matchups are fully put out. MCs are coming out who they're supposed to battle, but we got matchups set and locked in. We've seen predictions. We're hearing narratives from both sides. We're hearing this person, a face-off between Tay Rock and Swamp Drop. It's a lot to dissect. Did it change any of your opinions? Are you standing on you standing 10 toes down on what you said before? What are we doing right now with this? SM12 Saturday 924. What's up? Who wants to set it off?
I'll set it off. So, well, I guess we can start off with the face-off between Tay Rock and Swamp. I thought it was a good face-off. I know a lot of people like the rah-rah stuff or whatever, but I felt like they were able to have like a dialogue, a productive conversation about, just the perception of the battle and like all the things that are going into the battle, like it practically being a home game for Swamp, and this being Swamp's biggest matchup thus far in his career. But I will say is it didn't really change my like outlook or like the person I have winning the battle. Realistically, when it comes to a person like Tay Rock on a Summer Madness stage, on a Gnome stage, or regardless of just stage in general, he's very hard to beat. He's built up a following because of stages like this. You look at to me, the battle that really put him on is him versus Ill Will, and that happened on Summer Madness 3. So he literally built his name off of performing on stages like this. And when it comes to Tay Rock battling people who are up and comers, his track record is pretty good. Like win against Briz, win against Chess, even Romnitty, even though Romnitty wasn't really a great battle, whatever, but he didn't like clearly lose that battle either. But when you look at his track record against up and comers, against people on that stage,
even Geechi Gotti. Even Geechi Gotti.
Even Geechi Gotti, exactly. So like he's very proficient, like taking on up and comers. In fact, you can argue that he's probably a little bit more motivated going against up and comers because he still has that warriors mentality of like I'm not letting this guy take my spot. Like I'm the face, like I'm the gunner of URL. So it didn't really change my perspective of how I was gonna like. Well, I still have Tay Rock winning just because, again, his track record on these big stages, his track record against up and coming talent, and on top of that, he has his gun titles counterparts on that stage, and that's going to motivate him even more. So it didn't really change anything.
All right, talk to me. M. Lang, Tay Rock 2-1.
Real quick, I'm in and out at work. Still listening the whole time. Only thing that's really changed for me, I actually got that same matchup, Rock and Swamp. Is leaning toward the debatable for me. I don't know why over like last couple of days I feel like something's like somebody telling me Swamp rock that stage. So that's the only thing that's really changing for me a little bit. I still got Rock winning, but it's debatable. But then I got Chess over Suge, and then I got Danny Meyer over Fonze.
Well, listen, we executives, I need a little bit of why in some of these answers, sir. Why is Tay Rock and Swamp debatable?
So I got Swamp momentum really making it debatable for me.
Okay.
I just think his high right now, he is just on a run right now, just like the Eazy's, just like anybody that's hot right now. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I just don't think it's going to be that clear for Tay Rock.
Okay. I'm not mad at it.
Tay Rock's been a while. I think it's going to be a real good matchup. I really think all these matchups on the card have like potentials to be great matchups. Like even the ones that people are like kind of feeling iffy about, even though like I think Danny and Fonz rock the stage. I think that might be potential battle of the night for me.
Okay.
Personally, other than Eazy and Cab, I think they just gonna be wild up there. But yeah, that's the reason because the momentum right now for Swamp.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Who else?
Okay, about Swamp.
Oh, we got Dre in the building.
He's gonna get set extremely high for Swamp coming into this battle based off of his run in the UM tournament, and I feel like people are gonna expect more out of Swamp than what they really like. They don't want your. I feel like nobody's gonna want your average Swamp. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but I feel like he has to go over the top at this point based off of.
So you're saying they have a standard for Swamp now? You're saying that they have a standard for Swamp now, based on what they've been seeing.
I'm not gonna say it is now, but I feel like come time of the battle, they're gonna expect something special, something more.
And I,
what he usually bring.
shout out to Swamp. I think that's fair. You got past Fonz, you got past Nitty. Some people are arguing that you beat JC on the stage. I mean, you got past Shotgun and Shook. So to expect a little bit more from you, I think that's fair. That's just saying that you've been doing great. We want to see you continue. That's it. Go ahead, though.
Man, but the way this culture does that, it's a bit different.
Oh yeah.
It's a bit different.
Yeah.
So Dree, just to ask, are you talking about there's a bit of maybe like an expectation curve for Swamp and the fact that you're saying if he doesn't come at his best ever?
I feel like it can possibly be, yeah. I'm not saying that that's the fact. I feel like it's a possibility that can happen, and I feel like that's gonna be one of those things that have this battle be debated about the most, because people are gonna everybody has a different ear for what they're hearing, so it's like that's gonna be the go-to. It's gonna be like, yeah, but he did this against Swamp and Fonz, and I mean not Swamp, I'm sorry, against Rum and Fonz, and then he went to Tay-Rock and I didn't see that Swamp, and then that's usually what I see, often, but I still got Tay-Rock regardless of what happens.
Hey, hold up, is that water bottle, cuz?
Yes, sir.
What up, Dree?
Yeah, that's can't be able to go.
Hey, bro, I'm probably slow or not paying attention, so you gotta excuse me. I didn't even know that you was a part of this, bro. It's good to hear from you, man.
Drew, you heard it?
Appreciate it. I'm sorry, I had a phone call real quick.
Okay.
For a second. Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate you.
I was gonna say, I think I'm the only one who had the prediction initially. I had Tay-Rock 3-0.
That changed?
I did. And considering
I gotta hear this.
I you know what I'm saying, I like to think that I'm a logical person.
Okay.
And I think my reasoning for that was very, very sound. Given the full card and that it is a gun title sweep, initially, before I saw the face-off, I leaned towards it still being a Tay-Rock 3-0 because I think the competition between Surf, Rock, Eazy, and Chess, they're all going to want to, they're all gunning for performance of the night. Performance breeds greatness, or competition breeds greatness. Not any of them can really lose, to be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They can't lose with the whole team on the card. It will look crazy if one of them loses. It makes that person look crazy. So especially if it's clear. But after the face-off and kind of understanding it and seeing how locked in Swamp is, because that's really what I look for face-offs is how locked in are these people, especially when they're pre-taped, because they're happening weeks before.
Oh yeah, it was weeks before. That's a fact.
And I think it's
that face-off was at Ballad of Bayou.
Oh really?
Yep.
That's what I'm. So to my point, exactly, bro. It's easy to me to be locked in the week of a battle, but if you locked in from, whenever, that was a while ago. That was a break. At this point.
But I mean, so you're still giving Tay-Rock the 30. That's what you're saying, though.
What I'm saying is because I saw Swamp I'm saying before I saw the face-off.
Okay.
Then I watched the face-off. I think if I had to put money on it, now I would actually go Tay-Rock 2-1 clear. I think Swamp gonna come out the gate with a crazy first round because I think that Tay-Rock said they don't want him. They want that crowd wants him to win. They're not gonna let him die. And Rock was I don't think that's a crazy thing for Rock to say, and I think he's right. I think that crowd really gonna rock with Swamp out the gate. I think Swamp's best bet actually is to go first. I think Swamp wants to.
We was having this debate, so I kind of want to interject that, who should go first in these matchups. So you think Swamp should go first?
Yes. Yes.
I think I feel the same way about.
That's
go ahead.
Tricky
it is tricky. It is tricky. Dog. I said the same thing about Surf and JC. I said, listen, if you go first and you let Surf or Rock or whoever go last, you really want them to be the last thing that you hear, that the crowd hear? Is that what you really want?
I immediately think of like Chess and Rock when like Chess had that amazing first round,
and
then Rock turned up in that second.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a slippery slope. It really
is. It's a slippery slope.
I think it's best for Swamp to go first. He's already having the fans already on his back already.
Yeah.
Because it's in Charlotte. So, he's from South Carolina, so it's not that far. So if he goes first and he rocks out, then Tay-Rock come after him. Instead of Tay-Rock.
So what if Tay-Rock go? What if Tay-Rock spazzes after going to if Swamp goes and then Tay-Rock spazzes, and then what?
And then we gotta fight.
Then we got
oh my
fight.
goodness.
We got one of them. Oh, okay, it's one of them. But I think for Swamp, me personally, I think Swamp needs to go first. He needs to go first.
I think if you not gun titles, you need to go second. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
That's how that's how I feel. Because look, at the end of the day, we can talk about this angles and this and that. This shit, to me, in my opinion, is about firepower. If you can't match these niggas, it's already up for you. You want to talk about this for this long and that. If you can't match these niggas' firepower, it's up for you.
I want to add too on
it's
that
up.
note of going first for Rock specifically, especially seeing how he's performed this year. The T-Top battle being a great indicator. Rock is probably gonna rap 5+ minutes. That's where he's been trending, and it's 5+ minutes of very good stuff. And we all know that, especially going second. For a lot of people in the crowd, they're going to remember what the guy who went last more often than not.
That's what I'm saying.
In a 7-minute round, you have the ability to possibly drown out even a good first round just by rapping longer and rapping good. I think it might that might be a death trap for Swamp to go first, in my opinion.
But
that's what I'm saying.
Here's my thinking, and again, I think it definitely is a catch-22. I think it's especially against Tay-Rock because Tay-Rock been running up lately. Like his rounds get better the longer they are, and it's
and the thing about it's every round. It's not like the second he went crazy. It's literally the first round, the bottom half, or the second half of his first round, second half of his second round, the second half of his third round. It's getting crazier and crazier. They was telling him to stop. No, your round is over. You can stop right there. He keeps going.
That's what I'm saying. So I think the only way I think Swamp wins is if he wins rounds 1 and 2. That's the only way I realistically, because like I said, I'm the same guy who said I think I got Rock 30. Mm-hmm. Now, I think Rock's going to 30 him, but my prediction will be 2-1. Clear. Just because I think that the only round Swamp can even have a chance of winning, respectfully, is the first round. The way Rock's going to wrap it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's a death trap to have Rock go first. Or have Swamp go first, just because your best chance is to steal the first and then steal the third. And with you stealing the first, because it's very hard to beat Rock in the second round. We know this. Like, you can make history off of this. So your best chance of stealing the first is when you go second, and you either match that energy or surpass it. People are like, oh shit, we have a fight. You steal that first. We kind of know Rock may take the second. But if you have that last word in the third, you have a good chance of winning that battle. So I feel like Swamp's best option if he wins his coin toss is just go second. Because that's his easiest way of getting the first and third.
I got a question. I got a question for y'all. Here's the question. Yeah, I second on that. Before we got the results. Was it wise for Swamp to go first against Rum Nitty? Because when he went against
that's a different fight.
That is a different fight.
That's a different fight.
That's a different fight. Underdog every 2 weeks. This is Summer Madness. This is 1,000 plus. This is 1,000, 1,500 plus. Expectations is high. Hold on. On top of that, hold on. But what I'm saying is, what Dre was saying, we have expectations for Swamp now. Before it's like, yo, we got Nitty 90%. Like, who is Swamp? Respect the Swamp. What he gonna do? We got Nitty 91%. Nitty got this. What's the next battle? We gonna skip this. Nitty already won. It's not like that no more. We're aware. We walk with Swamp now. Swamp got to do this. He got to do this. Oh, the round you had versus Nitty, do it again. Or the round you had versus JT that you thought you almost won the battle, do that again. We have expectations. Okay. You got to meet that.
I want to add to that. I was going to was gonna say, to answer your question too, not necessarily makes it different, but the one way I do see Swamp winning this battle and why he was able to beat Nitty is he's gonna have to take his path to winning is based a lot in real talk and taking the attention away from just the rapping, making
good luck with that.
making his material relatable. And I think that versus Rock, Rock is a better rapper. I believe Rock's a better writer. He's more experienced, better performer. But we all know that if you have real talk, drug talk, whatever it is that makes your material, the fans able to feel it, that can take the attention away. And I think that's Rock Swamp's path to winning and why he beat Nitty, as opposed to punch material, which I have a puncher's ear. I love it. He was able to say that 38's so special. I'll introduce her to my mama. Stuff like that takes the attention away just from bar for bar. And I think that is his path in this battle. If he wants to do it, it would have to be similar to the Nitty performance. But I do have Rock pretty much gentleman's or a strong 2-1 clear for what I said earlier. While the real talk path is there, I think it's possible for Swamp to win. He doesn't write as good just bar for bar. He doesn't perform as well. It's just too many things checking on the Tay-Rock side that I can't go against. But it'll have to be real talk.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I don't want y'all.
totally agree. Like, it's dangerous taking these monsters on this stage.
I don't want y'all to be. I don't want y'all being. Yeah, it's the same thing. So I got 2-1 Tay-Rock, but this is the reason why I said I think Swamp need to go first. If Swamp goes crazy and Tay-Rock after he goes crazy, when Tay-Rock rap, it's gonna be on a microscope. We're gonna be like, I'm gonna use smack voice. Oh snap!
It's on you.
Swamp doing this thing. It's on you. Then Tay-Rock got to rap. Now we're gonna have that. Now we know Tay-Rock is gonna rock the crowd. But now we have a microscope because we just had Swamp just rock the crowd before he did. So that's why I think that's the most effective approach. If I was in Swamp's camp, I'd be like, hey, go first, rock it out.
Listen, can I get 10 seconds?
You already close to you.
So we're saying they should do this in the first. They should do that in the first. People think I'm biased towards certain people. I'm not. And I say this with all respect to all the MCs. I rock with y'all. Hopefully y'all, live a long life and be very successful. But I don't care who wins, right? So what I do is I go off a lot of times I go off of the history. So we're talking about Swamp. So what fights have Tay-Rock already been in? Bro, Tay-Rock had a situation, right? At the Reloaded, I think some match Reloaded, right? Correct? Geechi Gotti bombed on him in the first round.
Lockdown.
I'm saying the situation, the battle was lockdown. The situation that happened, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not here for that. Geechi had an 11 out of 10 first round. Rock arguably won that battle. He literally dropped the forest, the world. Shout out Eazy. He dropped the water on his forehead. Rock still stood tall. Hold on, chess versus Rock. What got into chess? That chess said what? Who won that battle? What are we doing? So again. So what I'm saying is, and this is why, again, this is no slight to Swamp, my brother. Hopefully you do good. Hopefully, you get what you're supposed to get. But that's what you gotta do. Multiple rounds, not just the first. That's what you gotta do. Because at the end of the day, right? People saying people age, years has passed. That's fine. But I'm seeing glimpses, not even glimpses. The Rock that battle T-Top. What? He still got it. He's still averaging 30.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. Okay, you know what? I was gonna say my mind, and I hear everybody.
Can I say something? Go ahead.
My mind real quick. So I got Tay-Rock.
Go ahead.
I got Tay-Rock 3-0 again.
Oh my God, that's what they say influence. That's what they say.
No, because here's the thing. The reason why I say that is because I was thinking about it. About the only reason why it was debatable between 2-1 or 3-0 is because I think he could win the first round. But y'all have just done a great job of proving why whether he goes first or second, it's still a 50-50 at best. So it's a 50-50 at best. Logic would dictate that I gotta bet Rock too. I gotta keep it consistent. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I got Rock winning the battle, but I'm just going off of this recent transaction. Look at this for example. the Tay Rock and Vixen. Vixen went first. Yes, my personal opinion, Tay Rock beat Vixen.
Mm-hmm.
But Vixen was Tay Rock had to fight a little bit, and she went first. Vixen went first. So it's I mean that's my approach. And I think that's the best way to beat Tay Rock. I think you got to go first. Tay Rock is going to light the crowd up if he goes first. That's gonna be a tough situation for Swamp unless he has like a crazy angle or something.
But hold on. You see, I knew to go there. Hold on, I knew to go there. Right. You gotta think. He battled Vixen. Vixen is a woman, respectfully, right? She's allowed to be below the belt, petty as possible, spill all the tea. She did that. And what does Rock do? The nigga rebuttals. Since when this nigga started? Wait, he rebuttals. He survives that. You gotta listen. I'm saying the thing about this is you gotta firepower these niggas. I get it. Look, I'm not a battle rapper. Look, I'm a fan. We a fan. We can't tell y'all what to do. I respect that 100%. But listen, I'm trying to tell you, as a person that's right there all the time, match these niggas' firepower. If you're doing an angle or something, in and out, jab with it. Don't throw a hook with it and miss. When you miss, you're gonna fall. They're gonna slap you 10 times. Nah, never mind. I'm saying too much. Firepower. The crowd is restless. The crowd's there to see something. Firepower.
What'd you say, Tito?
So what was the last battle that Tay Rock lost?
Danny Myers.
Is that debatable?
No.
Nah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I got
first clear, second comfortably, and then third, Rock probably might have edged the third. So
I feel like that first from Rock was underappreciated. Respectfully, I did have Danny, but I think that first from Rock needs a revisit just to check out. I think something was going on there. I think his first round was better than his second. I know that's a crazy take, but I just think just because the crowd wasn't cheering at all, I think that's what went off, right? Because nobody was reacting. I reacted. I don't care about you niggas reacting, respectfully. I'm like, oh, this shit's crazy. But
I don't think that's a bad thing to say because I feel like there's just situations where somebody got an excellent round, but Danny probably had a career high round.
MC Hammer. Yeah, MC Hammer.
So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Other than that, then what? I mean, listen. I think at the end of the day, I don't think so. Do we have anybody here for Swamp? Because now this is being disrespectful to Swamp, and this is what I mean by disrespect. I got Tay Rock, but it's like yo, I like to do devil's advocate. I like to do both sides of the coin. And this is what happens when we all agree. It becomes disrespectful when we all agree.
But I think.
This sounds like. Go ahead,
bro.
You sure?
Yeah, you go first.
Go ahead.
All right, cool, no problem. I appreciate that level of respect, sir, and I will give you the same. So I guess this is a great time for me to jump in, because it sounds like everyone pretty much is going with Rock, which is the smart choice. It makes sense. I do believe Rock can win the battle, of course. I just want to reiterate what I said the space before last when we were first talking about this battle, right? So I feel like Swamp has a specific chip on his shoulder that Rock has no reason to have. Rock has been here before. Rock's been doing this for years, right? Swamp is just now getting here to this level, and he knows that we're all watching him. Did anybody have Swamp? Now, I understand this is a tournament setting. I get it, right? It's a different stage. Did anyone have Swamp beating Nitty when we went to that battle?
It was 90%.
Did anybody have Swamp Bonds when he went into that battle?
I did.
So my point is okay. Well, I hear you. I got you. The point is, we always feel like Swamp is gonna lose, right? And then he finds a way to show up. Now, it's a lot of people arguing that he beat the Go Pen.
Yeah.
The Go Pen went home with the money. Right? But it's a lot of people saying that if Swamp didn't choke in the third, it's a different battle. So it's some people that believe that he even beat JC. So at this point, I feel like it's a possibility that Swamp can show up, wow us, have a phenomenal performance, and people will go home saying it's a debatable or Swamp might have edged it. Now, would I put money on Swamp? No.
No, but it's a possibility that Swamp can go up there and surprise us all and walk out of there with that person that third round.
Oh, that's definitely a possibility.
I think
That'd be the most gratifying way. But hold on, real fast. I see a request from Mr. Sue Surfer here. This is the executive suite for the executive to speak. So are y'all allowing this man Sue Surf to pull up?
Man, look, man.
I gotta do this, sir. I gotta be fair.
If he wants to have a dialogue, he can. He asked me to add him, and I was like, oh, that's Black's choice. You know what
I mean, it's your choice. This isn't a shared space.
I mean, if anybody wants to, we can. I'm all for the dialogue, but the thing is, I just want it to be a dialogue. I love Surf, but when Surf goes,
yeah, when he go, I mean, Surf. We gotta be fair, Surf. We gotta be fair, Surf. I'm letting him up.
Let Surf in here.
Let him in. Yeah, let's let him in, but let's just keep it a dialogue.
Yeah.
It's some madness. It's some madness. It's some madness.
I'm other guys, so I'm not going to entertain that because I know on Patriots.
You want?
I'm gonna speak to I know. Good morning, other
guys.
I was actually here just to be the devil's advocate. I'm going over my rounds and doing push-ups while I'm listening to y'all.
Okay.
The way Swamp wins is simple. It's not simple actually, but it's not based on this battle. It's based on the other battles. If by time Swamp gets to Tay-Rock, believe it or not, he has a fair shot. The room, like hypothetically, in some wild world, let's say Gun Titles loses a battle, right? And then loses another battle. The more battles, like if Gun Titles was to lose battles, it would take energy from the ambiance in the room. The more battles Gun Titles win as the night go on, the more of an impossibility it is for him to win. So let's say Tay-Rock and Swamp go third or fourth, and Gun Titles is 2-0 at this time or 3-0 at this time, and he's at practically at the 99% loss chance. But if Gun Titles is hypothetically 1-1 or 0-2, now the room might be starting to break down bias more. I think the more wins we rack up as the night go, the more biased the night gonna get, if you ask me. Just being the you know what I mean, when I be thinking about it, I think the only way he got a chance is if other battles.
Like if other Gun Titles somebody loses.
I don't think Swamp gets a fair shake though, since it is honestly close to a home game for him.
Real quick, I think Rock is like separated from that because I've been to a few events and once the energy gets down, they call on certain battles to bring the energy back up.
When you put that gun sign in the air.
That's a fact. The question wasn't can he win? Like the question was
how.
Like how can he? What's the possibilities? I think he has a fair shot. Like if the room just gets shooken up, you know what I mean? Like if it's some shocking shit going on type shit, then it's like, oh, let's open him up more. You know what I mean? Like let's listen a little bit more. But I just think it's very slim that he won in there. You know what I mean? Like that's one of his chances. I think.
So you think that Swamp's best chance or highest percentage chance to win is if Chess and Brock go first or second, like before anybody other Gun Titles?
Like let's say if it was just some which he wouldn't, like I don't see him get that second, you know what I mean, that first or second battle, like an early fight. Like a too early fight, you know what I mean, or something like that. But if the room too charged up, like going into that fourth battle and Gun Titles 3-0, it's gonna be a drag in there.
I don't know, man. I feel like Rock makes the energy, and I feel like if anything, let's say it is a situation where let's say a couple of Gun Titles people loses, I feel like that's gonna motivate him more. I feel like he's gonna turn up even more. But and then feeling like
I had to be the devil's the question was devil's advocate, so I didn't want to come in here and root for Gun Titles, right? That kind of be whack, right? So I was trying to figure the way Swamp can win. I mean, I could tell you all the ways he can't win. But I was just trying to give ways that he could. I feel like it's an energy based thing.
Because, oh my God.
Black broke it down. Period. It's you gotta have a motive. You feel me? Type shit. And in reality, we all know that that's something that Swamp don't stand heavy in. So I feel like it's gonna be based off the energy in the room. I feel like it's gonna be based off the energy in the room.
So sir,
we got more people that want to pop up. I see Miss Hustle and Amin as well. Chad, what y'all want to do with this?
Go ahead, Ace.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've been on Rock and Swamp for a minute. So
we can move on.
Yeah.
What do y'all move to?
I would like to move over to specifically Chess and Chug. If we
Go ahead, start it off. Set it off.
Towards the bottom of the card, and then working up to main event would be the best.
And since I'll go ahead and kick it off. I think Chess and Suge has the ability to be a very, very good battle, but I think, to be honest, like, I'm not quite, considering all the things we know now about Chess's original plan for Summer Madness, I'm not necessarily sure on just the ability, considering the short notice, the quality of the battle. I'm sure it's going to be great. I trust, Chess, and I trust Suge. Obviously, they're both vets at this point. But I do think that just given the shorter time frame of prep for both MCs, it's going. I hope that that we get the battle that's worth of the stage and worth their names, because it's just unfortunate what happened. To Chess. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It's based off a decision by a person, so we're not gonna act like it's not.
Yeah, no racks, no daylight. That's what he's referring to. Go ahead, though.
Yeah. So, but what I would like to say specifically is that I do believe that this has to be a standout performance from Chess. I really think that Chess really need to. I mean, I loved his Calicoe material. But I know for a lot of people, they haven't gone back and watched that battle and listened to that material the way they should, because a lot of that material is crazy in his Calicoe battle. But given what had happened, I can see why people would want to go back. So I do think for Chess specifically, out of all the members of Gun Titles, I think he got to be the one to really solidify. Not solidify because we already know what Chess is, but y'all know what I'm saying. You really got to. It's a statement battle, I think, for Chess and for Suge. I think this is one of those things where Suge just got to be Suge, man. On a big stage.
I flip. What you're saying, I flip it. I feel like Chess got to be Chess, and Suge, a shout to Suge. I just seen an interview that he dropped with Debo. I think it's because he got past stumbles, he got past drugs. Can you get past Chess? Is the question. Can you go back to the Suge that be ads? So I think Chess, respectfully, he got to be Chess and just not mess up, because the Chess that we've seen in recent transactions, he's him.
I do think this is important for Chess, though, to side with what Tito said. I do think it's a bit of a bounce back battle. I thought last year was the best year of Chess's career, and I thought opening it up with that Calicoe battle, the way it played out, was disappointing. I thought he fell back into some of the flaws that we remember young Chess for: editing issues, kind of saying every bar he writes down, then obviously, choked in the third round. But what signals for this battle why I have Chess 2-1 is, even though I do like what Sugar's done lately, as we said, this is a step up in comp. He was incredible versus Stumbles, and he was very good versus Drugs. Chess is better than both of them. Not to say that they're bad battlers, but there just is a level to it. And while they can match each other performance-wise, seems like they're both pretty prepped too. 3 weeks out, I believe I saw Shook talking about it at the Riot event. So they've had some time to write, so I'm expecting them to be prepped and the energy to match. But when it comes down to what's actually being written, Chess just has way more, I think, efficiently can land haymakers, even clever in between bars, a lack of dry spots. So I think the writing's going to be the difference here, but I would love to see Chess bounce back. I think he's had a bit of a down year, and this is a good way to close the year out correctly.
I'm gonna say this while Surfer's here, 'cause I feel like I'm gonna say this while you hear somebody say this on Champion. You know what I'm saying? So this is not behind the back shit, but I think with more maturity, I think Chess is actually gonna be the most dangerous niggas in Gun Titles.
I think Chess is like, that's why. I think Chess is like, when the reason like Chess got here for me is because I feel like all of us like he kind of like Rock, like
Jack John.
Yeah, like he kind of smarter than both of us. You know what I mean? Actually, like, even the way he tell, like, he in this real Kyrie Irving shit. Like, by the time he's like 30, he's gonna be like
26.
He might be the GOAT by the time.
26. You saying 30? I say 26.
Like, I got a question. Like,
Talk to me.
I had heard like it was like multiple statements where it was like Suge has got to be Suge to win. So I pose a question to you. What does Suge have to do to win in an explanation sense? Not saying just be Suge, because I don't think that's enough. Obviously.
Basically what I said. I flip his sentiments. I thought Chess gotta be Chess, but what Suge gotta do? Hold on. But what Suge gotta do is, I need 4-minute rounds, respectfully. I need performance in those rounds. I need heavy levels of writing as well as his performance. I need to add performance. I need you to respect the fact that it's Chess, and this is no slight to Stumbles or Drugs. I just think on that stage and what he's proven, Chess has given us the battle of the year. And arguably, if you want to split up Eazy and him performance like that, it depends on what you want to do with that, right? You got to match that. Don't try to match his flaw in what he did versus Calicoe. Match what he gave us last year because I think Chess is coming to that level. You're not gonna miss that. Lethal shooter ain't missing a shot twice like that. Steph Curry's not missing a shot twice like that. There's no way he's coming to that stage to do what he did versus Calicoe again. Don't go for that performance. Go for the easy performance. That's what I think he needs to do to succeed. That's just me though.
Yeah, the reason why I kind of wanted to talk really quick is because I might be in a minority. I'm a pretty bar oriented type of person, but actually in this battle, I'm actually going with Suge. The reason why I'm going with Suge is two reasons. One, motivation factor. I shout out to Chess. I know he really wanted to be on Summer Madness, but I also kind of feel like his motivation for Daylight is way different than his motivation for Suge. I mean, obviously Surf has more intel on like how Chess is feeling about this battle, but I feel like Suge just has his own like overall mission going into this battle, just really, really reaffirming the fact that he's one of the best to do it. And I feel like that motivation factor alone kind of makes me want to go with Suge. And on top of that, we're going off a track record. We just spoke about history, right? How we spoke about Tay Rock having a great history on these stages. We spoke about him having a great track record against up and comers. You can make the same case for Suge. And you also, and on the flip side, it's like when I look at Chess does amazing against people in his bracket, but have seen him go against like the veterans and such and have a little bit of a struggle that could be by proxy what J Smoke said in terms of editing, in terms of having too much to say and not making it concise. And I feel like that straight to the point, back to back style that Suge has can either match or surpass, Chess for a 2-round stretch. And again, for me, it's a motivational factor. I feel like Suge is way more motivated in this battle than Chess was because Chess was eyeing Daylight. Like Chess has his own like hit list, and I'm pretty sure Chess wasn't quite enthused in having to do a rematch that was, of a battle that happened 3 years ago. So I'm actually going to go with Suge just because I feel like, I feel like him and Chess's energy kind of matches each other, but I feel like the difference is going to be motivation, and the difference is going to be like who wants it more. And I feel like Suge wants it more in this very instant moment. I do agree with the sentiment that Suge is fighting up a weight class in comparison to the couple of battles he's had. So he obviously has to get out of the mindset of like, I'm killing all these guys because yada yada yada. He's battling a Chess who's of the upper echelon in terms of these talents. But nonetheless, I feel like that motivation that Suge has going into this battle, and this being one of his more high profile battles in a very, very long time, I want to say maybe a 2-year stretch, 2 to 3 year stretch. I feel like that's enough for me to comfortably say that like Suge could win this battle.
Oh, anybody can win. But yeah, I get you.
Also, want to add too on Suge's side. If Suge does have a high quality debatable here, or does manage to get a W, we're looking at in terms of the modern era. I think Suge's one of his better years, if not his best year. I could see maybe a top 10 champion of the year discussion for him, which would be new territory for him. So I think there is a lot for Suge going into this battle. I still have Chess, but I do agree that the motivation for him might be a little bit bigger.
Maybe I'm crazy, but Suge hasn't lost this year, right? It's Miami drugs.
He also Swamp.
Oh, you said Swamp?
Yeah, right, the one round there.
Okay. I don't count one rounds, but I get a Swamp shit for sure, right?
What else? What else we got?
Do the next battle.
Yeah, I think everybody.
Like listening to podcasts and while you're working out and shit. Like I appreciate you.
That's what we do. I mean, listen, everything is good until we get to your battle.
Hey, yo, so I'm gonna jump in real quick.
Yeah.
So based on what I just heard, I was listening to the gentleman give his reasoning on why he's gonna go with Suge, and I actually feel opposite of what he said, and so I want to make sure I explain that properly. Just as a side note, though, I know it's like a narrative, like a thing in battle rap for everybody to call J400 Suge's little man. I think we need to stop that narrative this year. If y'all haven't seen J400 versus Danny Myers,
fire.
That battle is a top 10 battle of the year for me personally.
Yo, shout out to Twiz.
Both sides.
Shout out to Twiz.
I think we need to get J400 back on URL for real though. I think he's improved and he's not just Suge's little man. Okay, so I got that out the way. Now,
it was always crazy. I think it was just a lot of it's a lot of figure out, normally like a state, battles are scattered. It's literally like our whole team is down there, at a top tier level. So it's like it's tough to come about through, like one of these states to come about with Suge and Arsenal and O-Red and you know what I mean? Like so I just feel like he just didn't get his just due. You know what I mean? But I feel like Jay always been crazy.
Yeah, I've been fucking with J. Cole. I've been fucking with him for a while as well. But I just want to throw that out there real quick. The gentleman said that it was about motivation. That's the factor because Suge's energy and Chess's energy can match each other on a Summer Madness stage. I agree with that statement. I think their energies can match. What he said was he feels like Suge's motivation for it versus Chess's motivation for it is what'll push Suge to walk out of there with the win. And I actually feel on the flip side, I feel like it's motivation as well, but I feel like it's also ability. I don't feel like Suge is able to write and land haymakers like Chess is. So with that being the case, I don't feel like it would be as difficult for Chess. Let's just say he's not motivated, which I don't think that's the case. I think he is motivated, but let's just say he's not. I think it's easier for him to slip up and come with some fire shit or deliver it in a way like that Eazy Come Easy Go last Summer Madness. When he delivered it, it wasn't just that bar. It was the way he delivered it, which sold it for me. So I think it's much more possible and probable that Chess will just be Chess. And I don't think Suge has the ability to match that writing-wise or land that type of haymaker. So for that reason, I feel like the only debate here is going to be if Chess won 2-1 or 3-0. So I'm not...
My quick little small question in between that, my fault to cut you off, man, is just when the motivation word come up, right? I think that Chess is young, but we can't all agree that Chess is at the age where he would be at the age where he would feel some type of way about his Calicoes. But like with the level that he's at right now, Chess is a pro. Like he's young, but he's one of us. You don't think that he's motivated with his last showing from the way y'all talking about it? You don't think that his last showing would be enough motivation?
That's what I was saying.
I do. Motivation. It is, but I'm saying it's not that he doesn't have motivation. I think it's a different level, right? And I feel like I agree with the point of like Chess is obviously more proficient when it comes to landing haymakers and landing bars, but Suge shakes the room too. And on top of that, I feel like again, like it's a different type of like having to recircle because Chess. I was on the live earlier with you, Letterman earlier today. He talked about the process of having to recalibrate his brain to even prepare for Suge, whereas Suge is pretty much fresh and all he had to do was focus on chess or whatever. So I feel like
he just had 2 battles.
I was just about to say that.
I'm saying in terms of mentally. I'm saying mentally, like it's like. I mean, maybe Surf or any other battle can attest to this. It's way harder to like be focused and locked in for one opponent, and then all of a sudden you have to recalibrate your brain and focus on another opponent. Whereas Suge is only.
I say that he's hitting at 1,000% on the nose right now, and Ace ain't here right now. He can attest. Ace told me that what it's called is the word I'm looking for is repetition. You know what I mean? Type shit. So it's like normally I battle once in a blue. Like when I start doing them 30, 40 days shit, I just got a little more acclimated to being in that mood. Like
it's conditional. It's conditional.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you get to a point.
No fun shit.
It's literally conditioning. It's like you get to a point where you have it become like you gotta think about how much money niggas might be making doing this shit, right? Not to put nobody's numbers out there, but if a nigga getting a number every time, right, the motivation then becomes like, okay, it's not a matter of if I can do this, it's a matter of how I can do it. And that just literally comes from condition. Once your brain, anybody's brain, especially when it has creativity.
Think about it as a fan. As a fan, naturally, you would think with the way Lux and the Mook and the likes of those guys, with the way they hit their goods, with the way they sit out, with what we talking about, you would think that they would come back on a higher upper echelon. But then when you watch somebody like a Danny Myers or a JC, they do that shit every week. It's way more conditioning. It's rinse and repeat.
So
it actually is easier.
A perfect example of that is we watched the movie. I said the movie event. That's kind of crazy. The Drake event last year, and you get Lux, right? And Lux didn't have the normal prep time. He didn't have 3 months. He didn't have 4 months. He didn't have 5 months. He literally had a month. I think he had 6 weeks, and it affected him drastically. So much so that he felt like he wanted to take another battle. He came over saying he wanted to take another battle, kind of like right after that one, because he didn't feel like he could get with it. And so literally doesn't come down to is he able to come up with fire material. It's just, are you used to being able to do it at the level that you do it at consistently over the course of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 6 weeks? Like most niggas can't.
Ace was my mentor on this point for like literally like a month. Like with after I battled John, I was going into Cal and me and Ace just on the phone like every day, like 2 weeks going into Calicoe type shit. He's like, yeah, nah, bro. He's like literally said the same shit. It's conditioning. Like once you get to once your muscle memory, you just used to doing it consistent, and that's why it's become a little easier to get into that 30-day pocket, because your brain just become a little more. You start knowing how much time you got, how much time you don't got. When you ain't used to that, you'll drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are kind of coinciding with what I'm saying in that regard, because it's like for someone like Shook, who has battled like 4 or 5 times already, and is kind of in a rhythm, and is kind of already. And another thing I think that people get from battling often is knowing what works, because I feel like there's trends in battle rap. There are certain things that resonate with a crowd or with a group of people at a certain particular moment, right? So I feel like he's starting to get a gist of like what works for him and how to maximize that. Whereas Chess only had a battle and a half, because he had the one rounder with Jack and the battle with Calicoe. And I'm not saying that Chess is going to be rusty, but like it's kind of like, as Surf like to say, it's kind of like basketball. If you already been on the court, you ran once for like 3 or 4 times, and then a person that just got off the bus and running his first runs, he's obviously going to be rusty. He's going to take him a minute to warm up. Where it's like a Chess.
Not to cut you off, right? I apologize for that, right? But to keep with that same analysis in terms of conditioning, always remember, like when you're kind of like comparing the two artists, that you can also learn bad habits. So just because you're in condition to do something doesn't mean it's something that you should be conditioned to do. And remember, by definition, when you learn a habit, you're literally unlearning another one. So it's like, I say that to say, a nigga like, and not to say Suge is a lower level, he's a lower level writer in terms of like him and Chess. Like, he's a lower level writer. Like the material that he comes up with, although he may be able to memorize it, that he doesn't rely on pen heavy material in order to get a point off or to hit a haymaker. I say that to say that
pen heavy. Go ahead. I'm just writing shit down.
Chess is very pen heavy. Chess is very meticulous in terms of how he figures out what to say and how to say it. I say that to say, if you give people the same time period and they're both conditioned the same way, just because one of them is in the better condition or has been in the repetition of doing it, doesn't mean that he's able to produce the same high level material as the person that he's battling. Because styles make battles. I don't care how, there's no battle in a vacuum. Like Surf material against Calicoe might not have been the best material for John, and vice versa. Like his material versus John, I loved it, but if you put that against Calicoe might win. So material, the who you're battling is just as important as what you're saying in that battle. And I say that to say that if you're giving them the same time period, the same conditioning, who is able to produce the high level material and memorize it in the time that they're given?
My thing is,
that's my fault. Like that's a pivotal part of the battle that I think fans don't take into consideration, is that each battle is a different conversation. You know what I mean? Like if me and John been going at it for however long we going at it, what I gotta say to John is gonna be like this. When I'm talking to Geechi and you know what I mean, all right, Geechi's champion of the year right now, our conversation is like this. So now, because your conversation changes, a fan might be looking for Twerk product work or John product work. You know what I mean? And battles could attest to that. And it's like, that's not what we here to talk about. You know what I mean? Like some people say like Cortez third, like yo, why in your third round you didn't have more? It was expecting a conversation. Like certain battles call for certain conversations, and I don't think that people take that in consideration a lot.
Yeah. And so again, I feel like even Ace's point about having to unlearn habits kind of goes into why I'm also going with Suge, because it's like when a Chess is prepping for a daylight or whatever, there's a certain place he takes his brain and be like, okay, I'm gonna attack him this way, I'm gonna touch on this way, I'm gonna try to attack him from this aspect, right? So now he has to recalibrate his brain to like pretty much change what his attack and approach was to a Suge, whereas a Suge was starting off with a fresh slate going into the battle. I still think that like I'm not saying that Sugar's gonna win clearly. I think this is gonna be a very, very close battle. But I do think that when it comes to motivation, as I mentioned before, having a fresh slate, and also just having like Chess having to recalibrate his brain to train for a different type of battle, you know, that puts him at a slight disadvantage compared to a Sugar as a fresh slate. So those are my cases for why I had Sugar in the battle.
You know,
that's assuming like that's the actual like those are all like educated. Those are I like where you're going with it, but that's assuming that those things you're saying are true. You don't know like because another factor is the chess and the daylight battle was never booked. So who says he ever wrote? It was never actually officially written like book. It was never a contract. It was never money given. You know what I'm saying? So who says he's actually writing? You know what I'm saying? Like so, assuming that those things that you're saying are accurate and true, that is a great point to make. But if they're not true, like then looking at the actual skill set of the artist and their histories without including like current circumstances, which we cannot do for this. What are we saying?
To that point, I was actually going to say, I mean, it's actually topical and actually good to say. I was looking for a kind of like a battle for Shook that I think would be kind of a good basis about my general feeling of this battle. And ironically, his battle with Pat Stay is probably my favorite Shook performance. Shook was crazy during his Pat Stay battle.
I agree. Rest in peace, Pat Stay. Rest in peace, Pat Stay.
And the reason why is because Shook was doing everything that he could possibly do. He was using every tool in that toolkit, man. Shook had jokes. Shook had performance. His first round is crazy in terms of punches. His angles. Bro, he had.
I don't want to be petty, but
his editing, which is I think I'm super big on editing. How you start and end your round. I hate rounds that end with like a throwaway line or whatever when they could have just cut that line out where they get this huge reaction. When Suge ends Pat Stay's ends the second round with I would pocket chuck you, but I might get poked by a syringe, and he just ends that's a fire edited round, concise. And I think to Ace's point, looking at the entirety of the skill set, Suge using all the tools of his toolkit with his right and everything on 10, I think that I still got Chess, but I think it's close. I think
this is a close battle. I don't think nobody's denying that. It's not denying. But I feel like we're buying time. I don't know what's going on. We spend a lot of time on Chess and Shock and Shook when there's two other matchups that deserves a lot of attention. But first and foremost, shout out Shock and Shook. I just seen your video. Big Mr. Fan. Your magazine cover is coming either tomorrow. Shout out to Rep Nelson. We got you. Just relax. Past day happened. So we got to push things back. The covers will be dropping probably no later than Thursday. But probably tomorrow. Let's move up. Eazy the block captain. We missed that? Damn. I was trying to get to the shits. Danny versus Fonze. What we doing?
Set it off, J Small.
This is a good battle. I was happy when it's booked. I think that the fact that it's kind of went from super fight, to New Orleans to this card has some people a little bit off. But if there was any battle that could have been pulled and rebooked for S10, the ones that were in conversation, I'm cool with this one. And it's going to be a punch fest. This is one of those that's hopefully really easy to enjoy when you get puncher versus puncher. At the very least, you usually just get a solid battle, good battle. A lot of times you get great or all-time great battles. And I think they're both top 10 champion of the year talks, both having great years. And I know there was a lot of talk for Fonze versus Nitty, but I think this is a good building block. I've been said that I don't think that Fonze is quite ready yet for Nitty. While he has done a lot of work, and he's clearly got.
They say it so respectfully. You see how they say it so respectfully, like damn.
And I think that as time went on, he's definitely got better. There's no question. I think he's the second best out of his U01 class. But I want to see him have a great competitive 3-round battle with another top tier. I think performance rate versus other top tiers, for me, is usually a great indicator if a guy's ready to take that next step. Yeah. And up to this point, he's got Av and JC. I know he has the 2 versus Ill Will and Calicoe, 1-rounders in the middle of Ohio to add. But in terms of 3-round battles, he's had Av and JC. I thought he was great in both. Thought he had a great second round versus Av. Thought he was decent versus JC. But I thought levels were shown in those battles. I had both as clear losses for him, even though they were constructive. And for Danny's very motivated. He's an all-time great talent.
When is Danny not motivated?
And this is his SM debut, and I think that the
That's crazy in itself. That's crazy in itself.
It's insane thinking about his resume and the fact that none of that's went down, on an event like SM. But I think that he's seen all the fights, and when it comes to the big stage, we battled like DNA that were just terrible, and now you're seeing every battle, the nut battle, was a step up. The ad battle, I had him losing, but it was definitely a step up. And same reason for Rocket Swamp. I just think when you look at body of work, experience in situations like this, Danny just has more experience head to head versus, in fights. And for Fonz, I'm waiting for that moment where Fonz is top tier. Hopefully it's this battle, but I need to see him do it before I can predict him over another top tier with a decorated resume. And I have Danny Myers 2-1 clear in this battle. I had it comfy at first, and the other ones, but with the stage being introduced, I have Danny taking this one 2-1 clear.
Hey Jay, real quick.
Yes,
We
sir.
got a little group chat in my phone about this battle rap talk and shit like that.
Yeah.
I said this, and I made a statement. Everybody disagreed. It's probably like 9 of us, and I was the only person. I said if this a career changing win for Fonz. People disagree. I'm not saying that he's gonna win, but like hypothetically, right? If Fonz was to handle Danny in the manner of like he handled Lou Castro, right? Does that not trampoline or change the trajectory of like a Fonz career? Like with
Wait.
on Danny right here?
What do you mean by career? Can you like further elaborate, define that career
Because
change?
I feel like with the status that Danny, all he missing is a summer match. He got like 70, 80 match. Like Danny Myers. I feel like Fonz is on the newer side of everything. He's one of the Geechis, the new niggas coming in.
I said that
for him is like one of them ones.
The combination of Danny and the stage, I would say yeah. But if it wasn't the stage, I would say no.
People not talking about it. The gun type of shit is obviously overshadowing the extra shit. But I think this Danny's first time on SM, and this is Fonz is like I feel like this, like I said, it's a big fight. So I feel like
the biggest fight of his career. Easily, I think at this point.
Clears Danny clearly. I think this changes. Like Fonz is normally this is the type of battle that puts you in the middle of a known card all the time, in the middle of on a summer mad card regularly. This type of a clear win right here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I honestly agree with everything Jason said. Every sentiment, honestly. I feel like this is a major measuring stick for Fonz. And again, I feel like Danny, and I'm going off of history. I feel like Danny, in terms of just his track record this year, if you want to say he's lost battles, he's battled people that were really, really good. Like Av probably had one of his best performances of his career against Danny. Rum Nitty was spectacular against him. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Danny is just one. I feel like Danny actually. This is gonna sound controversial. I feel like Danny actually either matches or like can surpass Fonz in that punching category.
That's not controversial. That's not. That's not at all.
I kind of feel like we're trying to like crown Fonz because he's the new up and coming guy, and not all for it. I'm all for like changing of the guard. But there's a couple of people that Fonz hasn't surpassed yet. You know what I mean? He's one of them. I feel like Fonz is not that much greater of a puncher, if better of a puncher than Danny. And like I mentioned earlier, punching is only one particular aspect of penmanship, of being a pen. There's other things that Danny can tap into.
This will mean Ace is going to get that on Champion.
Displayed by Fonz, so.
This will mean Ace is going to get that on Champion. We're going to sprinkle a little bit here and then save it for the next debate or talk, whatever. So you immediately, right, you got your conceited, your B Magics, your Avs, who else? For punchers, right?
Right.
Danny Myers has already showed his high level of punching. Why can he be labeled as one of the top punchers? Because he does everything else? Why are we limiting him and penalizing him because he does everything else? Because he raps really well, because he does angles, he rebuttals? That's not fair. I got one core here. By trying to be fair, you're not being fair.
It's not only not fair, it's not accurate.
Yeah, and
it's low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Quicker.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say that like me and Jason.
Well, that's not towards you. Though. I'm saying like the culture, period. But go ahead. It's not towards you.
Me and Jason actually did like videos of like categorizing top 5 in each category, and we had Danny as the top 3 puncher of all time. But we had him like right outside of the top 5 list for writers because he's just now become like a prominent writer in the culture. I say that to say that Fonz has established himself as one of the best punchers, but Danny has established himself as the best overall one of the best overall riders and potentially one of the best overall battlers now. Because now he's starting to rebuttal. Now he's angling a little bit more. He's making conceptual rounds. Even if they're drawn out a bit with the whole Davis situation, he still is doing stuff that like shows his well-roundedness in battle rap. And I feel like, again, like Jason said, SM debut, when Danny gets these certain opportunities, years prior we said that he always slips up in these type of situations. I feel like this year is like a change of that. I feel like he actually made a mistake early on in the year, so he's able to pick up after. Because it's usually in the middle of the year or the last portion of the year where he makes a mistake and kind of messes up his trajectory. Mm-hmm. But I feel like he's actually in his stride at the right moment. So I have to go with Danny 2-1 just because I feel like he's more well-rounded. He has more tools in his arsenal, and I feel like Fonze hasn't shown me anything to where like I can feel like he can comfortably beat a Danny Myers. Like Jason mentioned, he went against the JC. I had him losing to JC. He went against Fonze, who was rusty. He went against an Av, who was rusty, and I feel like Av kind of showed levels in that battle too. So this is a test for Fonze. Right now, I can comfortably say I have Danny 1.
Does the Luke Castro performance affect you at all? Does that do anything for you?
Level of comp matters a lot, and I do think that like he had an excellent performance against he had an excellent performance against Luke Castro, but when you're talking about the Dannies, when you're talking about the Avs, when you're talking about the Romnitties, they've probably had performances like that over a stretch of a few battles, whereas like Fonze's catalog is, which is not his fault, but like Fonze's catalog is obviously more scarce. So again, going off of history and going off of just overall body of work, is very hard for me to say if Fonze could beat a Danny right now.
All right. Anything else on that battle? Talk to me before we move up.
Yeah, hey, Danny Myers, 2-on-3.
Was that Geechi?
Oh, we got EFB, we got gun titles and EFB. This is about to get crazy. Hold on. Everybody relax. It's about to get cold. Oh, here we go. Wow, we talking out. It's a face off. Oh my god. Oh my god. Here we go.
Hey, just make sure you play this winner.
Oh, I am.
See you soon, gorgeous.
All right.
Are we about to hop to Eazy and Calicoe?
Eazy the Block Captain versus Calicoe. It's about to get crazier. Eazy the Block Captain versus Calicoe. To me, this is basically the most, or could be the most competitive back and forth on the card.
Tito, set it off. I want Tito to set it off because I'm very interested.
Let's get it.
I do. Bro, I love Cal. Love what Eazy been doing, man. I've talked about this a couple of times, but just to kind of reiterate kind of what I said before, because people keep the files. I did say I had Eazy 2-1 clear in this battle previously. And I'm probably gonna stick with it, man. You don't
standing on his opinion. Let's get it.
I gotta stand on 10, man. I just don't, because here's the thing, and I think Surf said it earlier, and I think it's a real thing, because you see this in sports, you see this in some of, if you don't know what I'm saying, my business, you don't know what I'm into, but like when somebody who who's part of your crew is on the same car, the same event, is performing the same as you on the same event as you, the last thing you want to do is be the individual that fucks it all up. That's the last thing you want to do. And we can all assume safely that they're going to be going on a little bit later in the card. So Chess would have already battled, as an example. At least Tay-Rock would have probably already battled, right? So just that alone, right? Like Sir said, the more gun titles wins, the harder it is for anybody who's not gun titles to win. Because they're just going to it's like a self-fueling machine. But when it comes to actually rap what's in the battle, I think styles make fights, although there's a lot of similarities between Eazy and Calicoe from a lot of their content. I do think their delivery is going to be the big difference here in this battle, where Eazy weaves a lot of punch. Calicoe got a lot of setup, he got a lot of rev up that gets to this really beautiful concept, or he has quotables out the wazoo, while Eazy is right to it in a lot of instances. Eazy's dropping, every 2, every 4, every 6, where Calicoe likes to go all these stretches of about 8 to 12, and kind of really weave that story. And I just think that kind of style is going to benefit Eazy on SM on a stage like that. It's going to hit a lot harder. And until somebody can clearly beat Eazy, I have to bet on Eazy to block captain, because until someone shows me that he's not really him, I gotta treat him as if he's him. So I got Eazy 2-1 clear, but I do think that Calicoe's gonna have a great performance. We all know Cal's good for 3, solid, incredible rounds, quotables and all that. But it's Mr. Summer Madness against the hottest thing, the hottest streak in battle rap right now. And I think you're gonna see Eazy the Black Captain come away with a clear win.
Next up.
That's funny because if you asked me like 2 weeks ago, I actually had the same outlook as Tito does, but I'm actually gonna go with Cal 2-1.
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it.
So
I got the files on y'all, by the way. Don't hold on. Don't try to switch up last minute, or at least state that. I got the files on you guys. Yeah, I got the files on you guys. We got the files. Go ahead. I got the files.
Because when we had this conversation before, I said I had Eazy off of the same sentiments that Tito had in terms of Eazy's landing rate is a lot higher than Calicoe's. Like, I remember Black spent like this whole time talking about like, damn, it's kind of hard to really do a scorecard for like a Calicoe, because it's like, what punches am I really scoring? There's like segments of rapping that I really, really like.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's nothing really, like, it's like a segment of something that's landing, not really a tangible line or a tangible a punch that's landed. And I went back, did my research, looked at all the battles, and I've noticed that Cal has a really great way of making stuff preference, especially against people that punch more than he does. The Ill Will battle, you have some diehards that say like the Surf battle was close. I don't really think it's close, but that's another story. Even the Calicoe battle, even the Geechi battle, right? Geechi was punching at a very high rate, but Calicoe had a way of making his material, somewhat like watch out some of the punches that were landed.
Lane, can I ask you a question?
What's going on?
Not to cut you off. Don't forget what you're saying. But it's still to the point of what you're talking about, right? So, I'm just listening to the context or whatever, listening, and you use certain words like when you're saying like scoring Calicoe, right? And you use words like he doesn't have any like tangible punches and things like that. So, like when I hear words like tangible, it almost gives me like sufficient something in the same. I might be wrong, right? But I think so. When you're scoring a battle, right? Does the content or what you're receiving have to be even punch related to be scored for you? Because some things.
No, and that's the point, and that was the point I was getting at. It's like something like, because for certain battlers, right, like a conceded and beat magic battle, that's a battle that you can easily judge because they're
CompuBox battle.
And that's what I'm saying. That's Calicoe's gift, making a battle super duper preference based, because he's always going to have a different style of attack. I look at that Ill Will battle. The reason why that Ill Will battle is so great is because you have Ill Will who's punching back to back, and you have Calicoe with these great rapping segments and his great real talk approach that kind of neutralize some of those great punches that we heard from Ill Will.
I'm a fan. Like, it's just certain shit that just can't be like for example, like Cal, like I'll tell I talk to Eazy, like Eazy got to fight. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, and it's just me being a fan of the culture for forever. However it was put together, but just hypothetically, Cal just getting the point across that he's been on 9 out of 12 Summer Madnesses at 75%. That's a haymaker to me.
That's crazy.
Just because of the respect of the crowd. You know what I mean? We all
that's tangible.
You know what I mean? So it's like if we talk about bars and the coach and shit like that, certain stuff is like it don't be a haymaker, but it be hit hard to me because it's like that nigga could say like I watched him grow up. That nigga could say y'all see me every other summer for half my life.
Yeah. Like even and then like and then when he does do a punch, it hits even harder because it has a level of validity to it, or a level of realness to it. So it's the idea of like Calicoe being able to not have to land a punch and still have the audience attention. And on top of that, like when I look back at some of his performances, like against a Tay-Rock, right, where like Tay-Rock, it was back to back punching, and Calicoe punched here and there, but it was great rapping. And I feel like that great rapping can sometimes outlasts like great punches, right? Even though I'm not saying Eazy's just a regular back-to-back puncher, because he infuses other things, but he obviously punches heavier or punches more often than Cal does. But I think that Cal also, and this is like a slight nuance thing, I think Cal also does a better job of getting his point across. To me, he's a better.
Your mic. You covering your mic, Lane?
Yeah, you sound a lot lower now as opposed to high before.
Can you hear me now?
You good.
I I feel like Calicoe is a slightly better angler too, than Eazy by a slight margin. Like by a slight
After the
margin.
goods battle, I think it's like it's neck and neck.
You agree? Yeah, like it's not.
No, I'm saying it's if I had Calicoe before, I have it even now.
Like, I feel like he is better when he's actually focused on that particular person. The thing that hurts Cal is that Cal does have these segments where he's just doing like some anecdotal stuff, talking about his life and stuff like that, and that can kind of take away from the battle, and it can kind of not be directed towards his opponent. But when the times that he is focused on his opponent, his 3 rounds for Chess was so masterful because it was crafted for Chess. And I feel like if he can get into that bag, he could beat Eazy. And I feel like with those 2 things, him being able to neutralize just another person punching, and how like great he is at angling when he is focused on a particular subject or a particular battler, I feel like that's enough for me to comfortably say that Calicoe wins
that. And I'll hop in next. First of all, I want to say that this battle is amazing. This is what the sport is about. For me, even though Surf versus JC is going to go down as the statistical, the main event, this battle for me is the one that makes the SM. I'm expecting, outside of Nitty versus Ward this year, this is the only other battle I'm walking into where I could expect an instant classic. I really feel like it's almost a lock to be great. And I share a lot of the same sentiments. I think that these guys are, I don't want to say it's like a young version of Cal, but when we talk about elite real talk and strategy, these are just 2 of the best in the world at it. One for the new age and then one of the better of all time. And speaking about Cal and how his material, some people take it as preference, I think Cal's a master of almost like the hidden haymaker or in the sneaky haymaker where on camera, in the building, there's not these large reactions. He doesn't really do a lot of doubles to the point that it's like, okay, set up, we get the reference, the punch comes, we put it together, and we react. You have bars like versus Chess, gang saying what you did is what you went from that. You can't eat with us unless you starve with us, stuff like that, where the crowd lets him rap through it, in the building, but we watch that on camera, we're like, yo, that shit is amazing. Doesn't necessarily need a 30-minute haymaker reaction, but it in terms of scoring, I would score something like that as a haymaker. And I think that's the beauty of Cal style and why a lot of people like him is he gets to rap more through. It's not really based on crowd reaction, which whether we like it or not, a lot of, I'd say the average fan base is going to judge off of that because that's a part of battle rap. I will say that the what's tough for Cal in this one is Eazy does have a better pen, where when we talk about Cal's anecdotal, I believe is the term you use, or the talking about just the rhyme pocket speaking on his own life, Eazy's going to be jabbing throughout that, so he's less likely to have a dry spot just because you are going to be able to pick, 2 or 3 bars out, even in an area that doesn't have a haymaker. But for me, preference battle, like I said, it's going to be really close, but I have to go with Cal 2-1 edge as well. And a big part of that, with a lot of, like the way I judge other battles, it's hard for me to bet against an extreme body of work. And Cal gets predicted almost.
The way you explained it, I feel like he's going for Eazy. Can you give more to Calicoe side? I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it's like the way you're saying it.
What I will say, and which I was going to get into, okay. I think that Cal has seen fights. You look at Geechi last year, he was losing the polls of that, I believe, 80-20, versus Chess. Obviously he was losing the polls of that, and we would be here forever. We talked about every time that Cal was kind of predicted as the underdog going into a battle or someone beating him. Mm-hmm. And he has an amazing ability. I think there's only 3 or 4 guys in history to just not lose battles clear. There's just something incredible. In terms of wins, a lot of that, it comes up to subjectivity a lot of the time. But when it comes to losing clear, really to the point we can't debate it, it's very rare for him. I've seen a lot of challengers go in there. Eazy is one of the best. Don't get me wrong. This is as hard of a battle to call as we're probably going to get this year, and I'm expecting it to be so great that hopefully it surpasses just needing a winner. It's that great on camera. But Cal has shown me, especially versus Chess, the counter writing was special. I mean, special. On the flip side, I know Eazy did it versus Goods, but I'm going to go with being there. We said 9 out of 12 SMs. Eazy, we agree, is one of maybe the bigger tests he's ever seen. But Cal has seen a lot of demons and all-time greats and other Hall of Famers up on that stage. And in a battle that's this close, I have to go with someone that's been there and has showed me for over a decade plus what he can do. Like I said, I'm expecting debatable. I'm expecting battle of the night, possibly battle of the year, but I'm going Cal 2-1 edge.
I gotta bring the battle rappers more up some more because y'all on point today. Like y'all giving like full flush answers and like. Hey, yo, last week was like, I got this person 10 seconds. He was going in for like 3 minutes. Like, say less.
I hear what they saying too, man. About that battle.
I think one of the things that they trying to say without saying it is like when it comes to the punching the Calicoe and shit like that. I think when you look at a Calicoe round, he's a nigga he's not there for the haymaker. He's not there for the punch, everything. He's right in for the whole round. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like more so I think compare like boxing more than like any other thing. Where it's like a motherfucker might be looking at a punch count like, oh, he's landing all these headshots and this and that the whole time. He said he could get solid body blows. He gets gut.
I swear, like that.
The whole round. You know what I'm saying?
I say that all the time.
And then by the time the battle over, a nigga that fell out from a stomach shot, you like, damn, I didn't even think he was landing no punches. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how Calicoe.
It's almost like battle rap. Like it's funny how it mirror music. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, like music went from nostalgic to now, like the attention span is like, and we talk about the music side is very low. I feel like as far as battle rap now, we listen in like small increments too. It's like if I ain't heard a punch in 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, some of us cover that, and we don't got a problem. You know what I mean? Type shit. But it's like certain people like Calicoe and even Eazy, you gotta listen in a cluster. Like, you gotta listen in a cluster of like 30s. You know what I mean? Like a person like Cal, you gotta listen in 30s. He gonna tell you what car he was in, what kind of guns was in there, what they had, what highway they was on it, and where they going. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not listening to that type of content or listening for that, you're like, wait, what is he talking? You know what I mean? You gotta, I think niggas gotta listen.
Yeah, it sound like he just ran. It sound like he just ran,
right? And they'll naturally call it filler, and it's not. No, he's going somewhere. Like that might lead up to his punch, but because you don't want to take it in like that, you're not paying attention. So they was going up the highway to do whatever, and then he land a punch afterwards. It's like, oh yeah, it took too long to get there. No, you just don't appreciate his crack, like his way to get to that punch.
What I will say too is that I had to explain to somebody else who like wasn't as versed in battle rap. I was like, look, there are a lot of niggas in battle rap who write rounds. They write 3 rounds. Calicoe don't write rounds. He writes 3 verses. And that's really how I feel here. And there's a difference. He writes like what Geechi. He writes verses, bro. He writes for the whole. If it's 230, he'll write for the whole 230. He don't write. I'm gonna write this segment.
Yeah, he writing for the whole totality of the battle. Like his whole 3 rounds gotta connect to each other.
Facts. Right. I'm to put it together, try to stay best. You write for a cumulative effect. It's a
right. Some fans don't even understand that when they say
exactly.
Some niggas write like that. Yes, they read that.
A nigga's like it's like you can't take one part of what he said without taking it in the totality.
Right.
Right. So it's
because like Calicoe, like for me, when you watch the Calicoe battle, and the same to me kind of with Eazy as well, like those, you know what I'm saying, certain battlers is in that zone to where it's like it's like you don't win a battle until the battle is over. You dig what I'm saying? Like you're not really going round for round wins. Like you can judge the Danny Myers round for round, like yo, he won that round, he lost that round. You know what I'm saying? Cal is kind of more so by the time you get to the third, you figure out if you won or lost the battle. Kind of like with the chess battle, you know what I'm saying? Like round for round, people were saying chess was up 2, but then by the time you get to the third, and it went the way Calicoe was saying it was gonna go in the first, it's like it's a 30 now. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so this is the thing. And Gotti, I'm glad you're here talking because niggas underestimate your battle watching. But I'm glad you're talking like this so niggas understand how well you understand this shit. This what happens, bro. He's a technician, bro. Niggas don't get that. Gotti really knows this. Here's the thing, right?
I get it.
With the chess battle, it's just so you can't predict that chess is gonna come up and throw up in this first round, and you just happen to write all your rounds constructed around and throwing up. But by the time we're talking about cumulative effect. Every round he's talking about this nigga not slob. You can't be a nigga that slob because you can't even take the pressure of a battle, right? That's what he's saying. So that's the overall point. And by the time he says, I must be really dreaming, y'all got me on any given Sunday battling a nigga Willie Beeman. The battle was pretty much done in there. But it just so happened that cumulatively he already been talking about the nigga throwing up. And then if he threw up, and then he ends it with that line. And it's kind of like, that's the point of every battle that when the nigga's writing that way. That's the point. It's a cumulative effect.
I was in the building. That was the fucking room shit.
Like a person, like you want a consumer won't like it's like people don't consume it like that. Like some of your favorites, like a person's technicals, like they might be like, alright, cool. My first round is my attack round. My third round is my personal round. My such and such. So a fan might call it a decline when in reality, no, their approach is changing per round. Like it's changing per the fight. That's why you kind of got to take it in totality.
Facts. It's not something. It's as a whole. You can't view it in a vacuum. You gotta literally look at it how it affects the opponent or how they battle over the whole.
You know what's crazy too? Like to even more illustrate that, just just even simple like this. I've seen a lot of battle rappers get their shit quoted in a tweet. A lot of Calicoe shit, they post a whole clip, a 30-second clip. You gotta listen to the whole 30 seconds of him rapping to even understand what he's really saying. And then to appreciate the whole thing, where a lot of battle rappers you condense into a line or two of text. But to really understand what Calicoe was really talking about, you gotta listen, and that's just a testament to he's really up there painting, bro. He's really up there painting.
And to give Eazy his credit, the thing that makes Eazy though, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna crack his head one day because I think I'm the only nigga that really don't crack his head. Crack, right? You know what I'm saying? But to give him his credit, the thing that makes him dope that I do like about him is he understands what the fans like about another opponent, and he learns how to attack just that.
Just that. Shit, literally just that.
Just that. Like, oh, y'all like this, so then I'm about to go
make this look. I'm gonna make this look funny. If I can take the one thing that y'all love and make it look funny, it'll eliminate.
Then it eliminates. You get what I'm saying? He learned that. Like, if you watch all his battles, that's exactly what he do. Oh, y'all like this about Verb? I'm gonna talk about this. Y'all like, oh, goods get money? I'm gonna talk about how getting money don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about all of these different these one attributes that y'all keep like ostracizing and y'all make bigger. I'm gonna ridicule it. You know what I'm saying?
So Eazy's a tough fight. Eazy's a tough fight for anybody right now because it's like you go through this gap in your battle rap career. Like once you transition it into like the stars and the top tiers and shit, you go through a point in your career. Like Geechi, obviously, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you go through once they realize like, oh, this is a star right here, then our ears become open to your story. Right now, Eazy is in the middle of explaining himself. Like we're literally in the midst of watching Eazy become. Obviously, he's top tier, but he's still in like, you know what I mean? He's blossoming in front of motherfuckers. So it's hard to beat him when we're open to his story. You know how that effect go, Geechi. Then when everybody knows you, now they judge you different. Now straight down the middle. Right now, he got that blossoming effect. So he's on an incline. You know what I mean? So motherfuckers that's already at their peak or sitting in their chair, they got a tough time because we're very open. Like we still listening to Eazy stories about the Dixie sticks and the sawdust in the wall. Like we still want to hear it because it's still new. That's a tough fight.
I want to make a point too. Just something that could play could play into the battle is obviously we're talking about approaches. I think angles are going to be a humongous part of this battle and approach. This is an approach-based battle. And one angle that has been done a lot and is frequently used versus Cal is the BMF angle, obviously talking about Cal's father, everything that plays into that. And you can reinvent any angle. People say, oh, angles are tired. An angle is as tired as you present it. You present the angle amazing. It's going to be an amazing angle that night. And vice versa. But I will say, we heard Chess do the second round. His second round versus Cal was his best round, which was the BMF angle. Geechi's best round versus Cal was the second round, which was also the BMF angle. We could go back to Lux. It's an angle that's been done a lot, over and over again. It usually makes up most of the subject matter. And I'm hoping to see Eazy, which I expect. Eazy's proved all of us, seems to grow every battle exponentially. But I hope that he doesn't touch too much into that, because we have seen that angle done a lot, many times elite, and not to say that he can't, but it could be the first possible missed angle from Eazy if people feel like this is, the fifth rehashing, sixth, if not more, of the BMF angle. So hopefully, that could be something in a battle this close that tips the scale. So I'm just hoping he doesn't go with that approach.
My question be like, when you watching it, right? And let's say like we talking about angles and approaches. Like, me, I'm a fan. Like I'm not an angler. You know what I mean? I feel like they age bad sometimes. But so my thing is like when you listening for angles, right? You don't feel like battle rap is more so into like follows the relevancy and the narrative of what's going on. So it's like imagine, how hard it is from a battle perspective to just like you go up there and start talking about something randomly that nobody knows nothing about. It's just like, oh, you don't take care of you. It's almost like you don't think that, and this comes from a person that don't really do angles. You don't think that the more logical thing to do is touch on what the room understands at the moment. At the same time, if 1,500 people here know this, why would I speak on? You get what I'm saying? Or am I tripping?
I went on to. Are you talking to Black? You talking to me?
No, tell me, Jeff. Tell me.
Oh yeah, I was. I do understand that you do have to do what's up front because obviously also with battle is you guys know a little bit more behind the scenes in terms of actual fact or fiction as opposed to the audience that only has what goes viral on the internet. The wrong version of the story could go viral, and that's just the angle. So I do agree that it would be the smart thing to touch on things that we know about. And I'm not saying to come with some super cryptic, Cal angle that we've never heard before, but you got to be careful because now we're talking about 3 to 4 other elite top tiers that people love have all done really successful versions of this angle. And the thing is that while you never know when the angle's going to stop working, you never know when the angle's going to stop working. So I'm not saying that if he goes in there with a BMF angle, it's not going to work. It definitely could go over for like the 10th time, and it'll work, and it'll still be graded well. But you never know when people are going to be like, this is kind of similar to Chess's approach to it. People start saying things, we've heard of gun titles never do this before. We know how the dialogue around things can get a little bit ridiculous, but it's just, I think it could be a risky approach if he took it, and it wouldn't surprise me if the crowd isn't as receptive as it's been to the rest of Eazy's approaches, which we've all loved.
Hey, yo, excuse me. I want to jump in real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, so I didn't get a chance to voice my opinion on Danny and Fonze. I'm not going to take a lot of time with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has the possibility to be battle of the night. It's going to be difficult with the battles on the card. I do think it can be battle of the night. But if I got to pick a side, I'm going to go with Danny 2-1. Pretty clear. I don't think that's going to be a debatable battle. As far as this Eazy and Cal, right? I bumped into Eazy at Max Out 2 after Cal had just beat Hitman for the second time. And I said, bro, I love what you're doing. I'm a fan of the culture. I love what you're doing. Stay away from Cal. This is what I told this man. People thought that, or I've heard people say that Goods was the matchup that they wanted to see for Eazy. I never felt that way. This is the matchup for Eazy right here. This is a mirror match. I heard people earlier saying that Eazy gets to the punch or is more exciting as far as the punchlines. I actually disagree. I feel like this is a mirror match. I feel like when you listen to Eazy rap, you have to pick out what he's saying the same way you got to do with Calicoe. I don't look at Eazy as a 1, 2, 3 punch type of rapper. I feel like he weaves his stories in the same way Calicoe does. With that being said, excuse me? Somebody want to say something?
I was just trying to clarify and let you know that we weren't really trying to say he was a 1, 2, 3 punchline rapper. We were just saying he punched at a much frequent rate, whereas Cal just more or less tries to flex his rapping prowess. That was the thing that we were trying to distinguish.
Okay, I got you. Well, excuse me, I must have misheard it because I kind of thought people were saying that the punch count or the punch consistency was the reason why, so excuse me, maybe I heard that wrong. But with that being said, I feel like it's kind of similar, and I just feel like Calicoe has already shown us time and time again who he is at that level. I feel like we look at people as a culture. I feel like we look at certain artists as being the top of that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, K-Shine and Hitman, people will look at that as the top level of the performance. JC, Lux, Daylight, people will look at that as the top level of writing. Conceited, Rum Nitty, Av, this is what we look at as the top level of punchline. As far as street rappers, it's Calicoe, it's Geechi. If you want to consider Surf a street rapper, I don't know. Surf, these type of guys are that top level. I just don't feel like when you're standing in front of somebody who does exactly what you do, as proven time and time again that this is what he's going to do, I don't think that Eazy can beat him, man. So I'm going to go with a clear battle. Calicoe, I don't know if it's going to be a 30. I doubt it's going to be a 30. I wouldn't say that because I don't believe that that's the case. But I do believe that Calicoe is going to clearly beat Eazy. And I feel like after the battle is over, we're going to be like, damn, Cal was the one to do it.
He's a wizard.
I just have one question. Are you saying it's going to be clear because, pretty much Eazy kind of reflects Kyle's style, and Kyle does it at a better, in your opinion, does it at a higher level? Or I don't get the clearness part. I was trying to figure out why you think the battle's going to be clear.
So yeah, that's exactly what I meant, and my attempt was to explain it so that everybody can have a clear understanding of what I was trying to say, because I don't like to just jump on here and just say shit. Like, I'm really a fan of this culture. Like, I really love this shit. So, I try to make sure I'm concise with it. Yes, that is what I'm saying. I heard somebody earlier mention something about two punchliners would be kind of a clear battle because you can see the level. So, with that being said, I feel like this right here would be the same way. I don't feel like it would be a preference thing because I feel like it's a mirror match.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think it's way more likely that Eazy clearly wins than Calicoe clearly wins, and I think that's a style thing, to be honest. I think that Eazy's style is more is more suited to clear wins than Calicoe style. Like what Lang was saying, what Jay was saying, it was like Calicoe really flexes the fact that if you like what Calicoe does, he's going to do that.
Hey, Tito, the crazy part is not the word suited. It's just more in the now. Like Eazy is being more received. More Cal was in that space too. It's kind of hard for somebody to say that with Cal. Cal literally has one of the highest winning percentages of my class ever. Cal's win percentage is like 85%. Cal wins. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not that Eazy is more digestible. Eazy is right now. We wanted that pause. We wanted you know what I mean? We want to digest his material right now because we know Cal's story. Like some of us grew up in front of y'all. So it's not that it's like if the material's dried up like that. It's like we know the story. We know the story. We just now we want to hear how he's going to say it to you.
Yeah. I think to your point, sir, I think it's like it's one of those things where if you, especially when Eazy is rapping against these established, the Goods, Calicoe, Rex, not so much Chess, but like those three in particular. The interesting thing to me is how the approach Eazy takes and how that material kind of not ages, but kind of how it translates over to somebody who's clearly more, solidified or at a perceived higher tier. Like for example, like a lot of people were having a conversation about Rex. Like, what's he gonna say to Rex? Like, Rex gonna do this, Rex gonna do that, and then Eazy went in and talked exactly what we talked. Like, his material involved a lot of things we all thought he was gonna talk about, but he just did it at a level that was just clearly better. And I think that one of the things specifically about this battle in particular, I don't think that's gonna be happening. I think it's gonna be a really close battle, but I just don't see a universe and where Calicoe.
I don't see a universe. Damn.
I think
Damn.
It's kind of what Surf saying in so many words without just saying it clear. It's like in battle rap, it's a time when everybody had a time. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody's their fans' favorite time. Kind of like that's why they always comparing it to wrestling. It was a time when Hulk Hogan was the man and everybody liked him, but then he was older. Then it was motherfucking
They let Stone Cold come
Stone Cold. Then The Rock. Then you got John Cena. Then whoever the hot nigga is now.
Roman Reigns.
And right, exactly. You feel me? Like so, and this era of fans is more fans that are newer that's into what Eazy doing. Like Calicoe has the nostalgic thing, so they know like, oh shit, man, Cal back, he do it like you just see. Heard Detroit Day down there say, hey, Cal already to do the shit Eazy do. But in this lane right now, from what Surf is basically saying is, even though they know they know that an even playing field now because they're not watching the old Calicoe shit. They know it from what's going on right now, what they seeing right now with them. So that's why
it's literally fans that don't know Eazy prior to it's some fans that see Eazy as undefeated right now, which obviously we appreciate. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So you know what I mean? But it's like it's some fans that really don't go back into the game tapes to say, well, Cal cleared his whole class, all of us. Hitman, Surf, he cleared all of them niggas. Like, he cleared damn near everybody at some point, you know what I mean? Type shit. So it's like, I just think that, and I'm just talking about, because I got Eazy winning, but I got it for different reasons. But I think that when people are explaining the reasoning for this battle, I think that they keep going to that point of, I'm like, nah, it's just that you want to hear what he's got to say right now. Cal's been on 9 Summer Madnesses. That sounds a little repetitive. You know what I mean? Type shit. No, we're in a space right now where we want to hit Eazy, which helps Eazy though. That's a pro for him, and it makes it tougher for Cal. But that's not the reason Eazy gonna win though.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do feel like Eazy is in the now. Like, just using the wrestling analogy, going off of what Geechi said, yeah, there are newer stars, the John Cena's and all those guys, but, you know, sometimes those old stars come back and they remind people why they are who they are.
It's something
I feel like, because like when John Cena was running wrestling for 4 or 5 years, The Rock stopped doing movies and came back and showed why he's still The Rock. He sold out that WrestleMania. So like, I feel like Cal is one of those guys who can transcend like, you know, just certain segments or time periods of battle rap. I feel like his style is timeless. But I get what you're saying in terms of Eazy being that what you call it.
He definitely did that already. Damn, why you spending guns out of killers this afternoon?
You know what I'm saying? I had to let him know. I
Respect you. So you going against the whole titles this summer?
I gotta see who else left. I ain't gonna lie, Chess is good. That's a good one. I never go against Chess though, but I am. Should be killing.
You spent on some GTK shit.
Yeah, I never go against Chess though, man. Goddamn. So I gotta say Chess on that one. I ain't gonna lie, Hurst was good. That nigga, he been killing. He been going crazy.
Should been bullshit for sure.
Yeah, he been going crazy. That's gonna be a fight.
I want to add to Eazy.
We closing statements because I feel like we're getting buying time.
I just want to say for Eazy and Cal, winner of this, champion of the year talks, especially on Eazy's side. Just keep an eye out for that. You know what I'm saying? Because Eazy will be at 3, which I believe is the meeting the requirement. So.
No, bro, no. I'm not gonna let you do that. No.
Ding, ding, ding.
As we get into the last 3 months, you know what I'm saying? When people start entering the conversation, right? However, you got to, you know, that's all different. I have JC at number 1 right now as well. But that's a name that then qualifies 3 big names. Just keep an eye out for it as we get to December. That's all.
That shit is wrapped up, bro.
I mean, top 5, yeah, of course.
That's a whole other conversation, but that shit is wrapped up.
Yeah, that's like a top 5.
That's a whole other conversation, but that shit
Get like number 5 and so.
All right, hold on. Here we go. This is the last battle on the card.
Jay Black, I'm on the panel, man.
The last matchup. We gonna talk. We gonna figure something out. The last matchup on the card, Sue Surf versus JC. We do have fouls, so we did Rocket Swamp. We did Rocket Swamp. We got yeah. So now we have Sue Surf.
That's a killer battle right there. I'm scared of that battle, man. I don't know. That's a killer battle right there.
You can stop playing.
I ain't gonna lie because look, I'm being totally honest, man.
JCBO.
No. We talking about Rocket Swamp. We talking about
No. Sue Surf versus JC.
Yeah, but
Yo, everybody, just pretend Surf not here.
And then I'm gonna tell y'all mine because I'm right here grabbing these niggas. Go ahead.
I wanna
Just pretend Surf not here. Let's get it. Let's go. He's listening. He's listening. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been very consistent about like who I have winning. It hasn't really changed, even with the lack of like, you know, promotion from JC or all that, whatever. I could care less about that because that's just who he is. I have Surf 2-1. I'm just looking at it holistically, and again, history, right? One thing I will want to acknowledge is that I did see the interview where Rock and Surf was talking about how, like, you know, what JC big stage performances matches Sue Surf's like big stage performances. He has a point in that regard, but I don't want to neglect the fact that JC has performed extremely well on SMs, on Gnomes, namely DNA, Iron Solomon,
Rum Nitty,
Suge. You know what I'm saying? That's like 4 or 5 major high profile like big stage that he performed well against people who in some cases are a little bit more entertaining on the well, except for Iron Solomon, but for the most cases are people that are very entertaining on the big stage. So the capability and the aptitude to perform on the big stage is there for JC. But when everyone is great, there's just a level of separation. And I feel like when it comes to performance, when it comes to engagement, when it comes to just knowing what the crowd wants to hear and what they want to say, or what they want you to say, I feel like Surf has that. And just off of, you know, I'm a historian, so like when Surf just got out of jail, he's in that studio. He said, you know, the first people I heard when I got out of jail was, you know, Chess, Rum Nitty, and JC. So Surf can attest to this or whatever, but I feel like Surf has probably had his eye on JC and planted that seed since 2017. And veterans who have like their eye on particular people over a stretch of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, usually have a great plan of attack of how they're going to go about the battle. So even if, let's say, like he wrote his rounds like in a 2-week span, the seed's been there for a 5-6 year stretch. And I just feel like, you know, with just how tactical Surf is in that regard, I have to go with Surf 2-1. And on top of that, the separation in performance, the separation in engagement, and just the difference in terms of like again, Surf kind of knows exactly what the crowd wants to hear. And this is JC's biggest matchup in his career thus far, and it's the first time he's main eventing. I won't say that he's not, he doesn't have the aptitude or capability, he doesn't have the capability of performing at a high level. But if we're going off of transactions, if we're going off of history, I feel like the best bet is to go with Surf, especially since he's been eyeing JC for a minute. So
That was a great first round. Look at this. This type of talk, like the level, the tone, and the respect. It's like even if I had somebody losing, I wouldn't be mad at that. Ain't that a smooth? That's a smooth conversation.
What you say? What you say, sir?
When you gonna get that EFB tab?
This weekend.
That was very eloquent. I just seen a nigga with a Midnight Madness tat. I laughed at
Oh boy.
Hey, I'll go next.
Let's get it.
For our last Pantheon, I actually had JC 2-1 Edge.
Here we go.
Go into it.
Let's talk.
I think that there's people kind of viewing this as a David versus Goliath, and I think some ways, and to me, this is more a Clash of the Titans. These are two guys that are amazing on the main stage. For Surf, obviously on the big stage, that's synonymous with his name. I think, and as Lang said, at this point, the notion that JC is a small room battler to me is silly. I think he's better on the big stage than he is in the small room. I think he's sacrificing qualities and pacing to make it that way. You got your turn, and you'll be able to say all this to ass when you go. But I just think that
Mid-round rebuttal. Go ahead.
More of the low-sos to abs. You see that going down smaller rooms, even battles that were debatable in the room, like Prep and Nun, which he's way above. I'm happy that he's out of that darkness now. But then you see more recently he's winning clear on the big stage. Obviously headline Dome or had the 120K battle on Dome. But as I looked at it as a little bit more, I have changed my opinion to Surf 2-1 Edge. And very similar to the Rocket Swan
The
battle.
switch up.
Yeah, very similar to the Rocket Swan battle. I think that JC's path to winning this battle is going to come through a more creative approach, and I think angling. That's something that he doesn't do very much, but I did see him do it versus Sharon. I thought he executed it very well versus
that second round.
To translate that to a big stage versus Surf, that's a tall task, but it's a tall task to win a battle like this. So I think with some of the topics out right now, Midnight Madness, whatnot, whether people think it's valid or not, angles aren't always valid. Angles depend on how they're executed. And there's material there to execute and get a W. But when we look at history, especially on the big stage, product of work, and also Surf versus his grudge matches. You look at John and Cortez, people that were quote unquote chasing for a decade plus. He's won pretty dominantly in both. I think the Cortez was a bit of a drop off, but I think Surf even knows that a JC is a little bit better than a Cortez. So I'm expecting more, not a performance of that level. But just going into it, this is his strength. I believe that Surf is going to take this fully. I would have no reason at this point to think that Surf is just going to not take JC serious. And then in terms of Pat, like I said, if JC can make it angle-based, if he can make it topic-based, people will listen. But especially if Surf goes first, that room is going to be expecting back-to-back haymaker firing back.
Firepower.
JC doesn't move around and perform like that, so he's just not going to be able to match in that regard. And two, even if he has haymaker bar for bar after, his pacing is not a fast pace. It hasn't been like that in a minute. And I think doing that might mess him up a little bit. So just think it's going to be close. I think these two are two of the best in the world right now, but I do have Surf 2-1 Edge.
Who wants to go next?
Hey, man, you ain't got to switch up just to Surf in here, man.
Right. I sent them my predictions to the Patreon before.
He did. Before Surf was there, he did switch. He switched.
Now, go ahead. You laugh.
I hate listening to breakdowns. I hate when, listen to people that just, like, whether you got me or JC, I hate when the word stage is leaned on so much. You know what I mean? It's like I don't understand why, when you get to a pin situation, it's like, being able to know how to get off 1,500 of these motherfuckers off their feet, or knowing that, if I say this, they gonna say that, or when I do this, they gonna do that. The lock pick the door, I point at the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, all that's technicals and shit that you add in the battle rap. There's other capabilities outside of a pin, outside of a stage. That's called know-how. So every time, like, it's like somebody's breaking. Well, 2-1 JC Surf only got the stage. 2-1 Surf, because Surf got the stage. It's like Surf do a lot of other shit outside of just this. If Twerk just looked like stage to you, or John just looked like stage to you, you don't understand battle rap. I got this shit figured out.
Well, I think real quick, I just want to answer. So it's not necessarily just like I think the thing that is the disconnect is each particular battle in either environment requires a battler because like what we look for in a small room battle is different than what we look for in a big stage. So that is why we kind of preface certain stuff with like, oh, this person has a stage, okay, he's probably probably in a better case of winning because at the end of the day, someone like a JC is better at this point in time. He like Jason said, to me, he's honestly performed better on a big stage because he knows how to cater now. Another great pen, i.e., like a Chilla Jones or whatever, knows that in a small room, it's about pinning the best shit. It's not necessarily about what they catch because in a small room, the beauty of it is catching stuff on a watch bag. In that particular moment, a lot of people don't have the ability to know what's going to hit and what's not on a big stage. So I think that's where the separation comes in. It's like it's predicated on environment, and each environment entails a different type of reaction or a different way we look at a battle. In general, like if I'm watching Daylight in a small room, I'm gonna obviously pay more attention than me watching him on a big stage, even though he's the same type of battler. I know on a big stage there's a possibility that he's gonna do something crazy or cater his bars to where it's a little bit more easier to digest. So it's a different type of situation.
1,000%. I just like I said, I like the point count fact to be different, right? So let's say like you got like me and Rock, you know what I mean? Like let's just say like AMG mode type thing. It's like so our punch count is different. So if Rock like and he's saying like 15 different things, there's some people that judge that 15 thing as like one whole little soliloquy, like they just waiting for the last thing. Meanwhile, he punching in between, like flat back like a white face, like that shit he saying to Twerk, like you gotta go in between, like those are punches all in between there. So whereas a writer just gotta land a heavy punch that correlates.
My thing with a battle like this is when I hear the fans and it's like this, there's no right or wrong answer. You can pick who you want to pick as a fan. Pick off preference, you know what I'm saying? Pick off like what you feel like for that. Like, you know what I mean? Pick whatever you want, you know what I'm saying? But what I get sometimes with a fan, where I think, or even just other battlers sometimes too, when you at this level, like the level niggas is at, like, you know what I'm saying? I think motherfuckers forget, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Sir JC, these niggas is at the top level of battle rap. So though everybody got different things that they do that they good at, motherfuckers can do the top level niggas can pretty much do anything and everything. You get what I'm saying? Just because they don't do it don't mean they can't do it. You know, so you see a nigga like JC, like he said, who at this point, of course, he known for rapping his more slower, getting into haymaker pockets. But if you don't think JC can speed up the punch and land at it,
then you crazy.
You crazy. So you like, so for me, I think that's what makes this battle a good battle because you really don't. They both are gonna come at each other different. You're not gonna get the same Surf that you got versus Cortez for JC, just like you're not gonna get the same JC that you got for his last battle versus Surf. Like this is Summer Madness. These niggas is finna come at the level they supposed to come at. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta look at all the unexpected things. Like when you see None up here versus Danny, like that was his first time on the dome. Now he rocking and doing rebuttals. Like if any other time you wouldn't have thought nothing. I said he couldn't do it, but you wouldn't have thought he would have been able to beat a Danny Myers or come close to that beating a Danny Myers or something like that a year ago. You feel me? But when you get them opportunities, niggas live up to that hype.
Some of the explanations be blasphemous. Like a nigga make a statement like, yeah, nigga a superstar. That superstar power shit ain't gonna work. In any sport you go to, whether a person's popular or not, they're a superstar because of what they did in the sport, not because of niggas just fuck with. Ain't no superstars that's ass. That's not the way that works. So nigga like, yeah, nah, he a superstar. That shit don't work. Nigga, I got here off of foot to ass. Like, what the fuck?
Like, it's a real grudge match, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Outside of DFB, outside of just the fact that they've been having they back and forth personally for years on rankings and shit talking and all of that. This is what that's what made the battle the main event.
That's why niggas even like my thing is you listen for the conversation. Like I want to hear what JC like. That's why I make the jokes about the whole like just random punches. I don't want to hear that. What do you got to say? Like same thing I said with Core. You hear that? What you got to say to me? Like I'm not crediting you. I get it. Like if a punch is retarded, it's retarded. But talk to me about it. Don't say some shit that just can't. You know what I mean? They can't go for anybody.
I think that's where That's why that's what got me as far as like with JC. I understand like he knows he's seen it. Like you said, we seen John in the grudge match. We seen Corn in the grudge match. For the fans and for the most part, what we both realized is they took that time for those battles, but they didn't hit the points that the fans wanted to hit. You dig what I'm saying? Like, okay, y'all had a long time of grudge, and y'all supposed to talk about certain shit and say certain shit that we thought that you had on your chest or something. You feel what I'm saying? And you came in there and kind of just rapped about different shit, and you hit points and rebutting points before they get to him. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, he gave us the side that we wanted to hit. They didn't bring it back. You dig what I'm saying?
I was gonna say like
I think he got that kind of ring IQ to know like, nah, I gotta touch certain points in order for like you said, I gotta have that conversation. That's the reason why motherfuckers want to see it. So talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you. My bad for I'm like over here, but I was gonna say like, cause I'm gonna keep it a buck. I know it here, but I had JC 2-1 before. I got JC 2-1 now, but I think it's the closest battle that I personally have ever predicted. And I'm actually really glad you said that, Geechi, about the unpredictability and all of that stuff that we might not necessarily look at is going to be maybe the things that are going to win this battle one way or the other. I think this battle is going. If I could have a debatable, this would be it. Like I could pick a clear winner between everybody else in this card, but this would be it. But you know what I'm saying? You got to pick a winner. So I'm leaning towards JC. But for me, I'm looking at specific battles and seeing what are some avenues I think, some tactics, some tools that they have in the toolkits that they could use here. So I'm actually glad Geechi here because I think a lot of the material or the type of approach that JC used when he battled Geechi, not the material, but kind of the overall structure where you're talking about what you got to say to Surf. JC was having crazy punches, but a lot of it was very tailored to Geechi in that environment. You look at the DNA performance. We talked about that a couple times, but like that first, second, third, that whole time. I mean, obviously DNA left Earth in the first, but like second round, third round, JC going around, JC walking across the stage, picking up the champagne bottle, walking around. It just
that was a great stage IQ.
It's perfect. Like it's one of those things
where I like those words. Ring IQ.
Like it's one of those I think intangible things. Like I said, I think it's like 51, like 49 for me personally, because like these are two of my absolute favorites. So, but like I gotta say 10 tones down. I said JC before. I'm gonna say JC now. But I do think that there are a lot of unexpected things that JC can do in terms of approaches that will be very effective. But I also think the same is for Surf. Like I think Surf about to wow out. Like and I just think that this is going to be an incredible. I don't see. I think Jay said it earlier. I don't see David versus Goliath here in any way. I see. Titans. I see heavyweights.
I hate that whole narrative because anybody that start off with the David versus Goliath narrative, you already know where they
right.
Was. You know what I mean? And it's like when people judge that like that, because you gotta, a nigga got a job. Excuse me. 9 times out of 10 when we on the spaces, I'm on Suser, gun titles time and shit like that. But when we talking about battle rap, actually doing the job. JC is one of the more well put together pens and writers in this motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? Right. So now, when you create the narrative of, JC has to surpass and has to get up this big hill, if he gets to the top of the stairs, he rockets. When you create that narrative, it makes it easier for JC to win because now he just got to come in this bitch and shake it a little bit. But nah, these is two titans. Like, you have to take this from, like, you know what I mean? Like, Geechi pull up, and he bang your heads. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is elite level. Like, come on, bro. I would not niggas know my body. I've been here for years. JC would not be here if this wasn't big stage, main level. Check my resume. I don't got no mid-tier niggas on my resume. I don't got no low-tier niggas on my resume. My resume, check it.
You got one.
He's dead. He's dead. He didn't live after that. He's dead. Where's Flores go after that? You talking about bricks? He's dead. I have all legends on my resume. He went to he's not supposed to.
Sir, to your point, bro, it's like that's what I'm like. I hate that narrative too because that when you create that narrative, Davis life, that's implying that JC already doesn't have the tools to win already, which is not true. We all know what JC is going.
So I don't think so. When he do anything, so when he do certain things, it's like don't create a wild factor in your mind as if like he's David first Goliath how?
Right. Like I think it's not a matter of because this is the narrative that I hate to kind of go back to what you were saying, where people were like, "Damn, like this is what JC got to do to beat Serve on the main, like do all this quantifiers. Like, no, bro, these are two of the best in the world, bro. It's going to come down to that night. Who's better on that night? Like, that's you know what people were saying the same thing about Leon Edwards and Usman, bro. But people really didn't know. People who really didn't know thought that what's he going to do with Usman? What's Edwards going to do with Usman? When they just don't know that Leon Edwards is up there in terms of one of the best fighters in the world. Like
Usman was 15 and 0, bro.
He's spooky. Like that man is.
You heard me?
Insane.
Usman was 15 and 0.
3-0, probably 2-1 clear, but
Usman was 15 and 0.
He's very capable. Like niggas, that's the word. That's the whole word to explain the conversation. JC is capable of beating a nigga. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's niggas don't like having that conversation. You feel me? Like this is J Black space, so I'm cool with having regular talk. I could be Sue Sharp in here. I don't gotta be in the spaces, popping my battle rapper shit. He's capable. You know what I mean? He's capable of clicking, but he's also capable of his smoke bit, like getting knocked out very fast. But he's capable. Hell yeah, the nigga's tough, my nigga.
It's gonna be a movie.
Like I was, man, but
hold on. Who else got JC? Hold on. Hold up. Who else got JC? I know it's more than that. We only got 2 people for JC?
I think I know who else has JC.
Oh yeah, Dave, what's good?
Rock, I see you down there, nigga.
Has everybody spoken their piece?
Go ahead.
So I just want to start this off by saying I respect everyone as men, right? Sometimes I get passionate when I talk my battle rap shit.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there at first. There's a gentleman named Justin in here, and we agreed that we would bring this upon the fellow executives just to make it official, right? So Justin has offered to pay my water bill for the month of October. The outcome, depending on how we feel on September 25th. And so we need 5 executives that will be willing to just give us their opinion on September 25th. So that way Justin and I could figure out if my water bill is going to be paid or if his, what do you say, phone bill?
My phone bill. Take care of my phone.
Well, I will be willing to be a judge, but I'm letting you know I'm gonna be in the building. We both know like the feelings in the building and on camera is a different thing.
Oh, that's good.
So I would be willing to judge, but I'm letting you know I'm gonna be in the building. And I don't like always giving my initial like picking of who wins just strictly in the building. So I'm just letting you know.
Like how did that like not to cut you off? Actually, I'm asking you. So how do you figure that? Like, let's say if you're there, right? And y'all battle, but obviously the battle got to drop. Like, when do y'all figure that out? Do y'all figure that out?
So there's obviously battles that's like clear on camera. Like there's clear wins, obviously, like clear battles. But like with a battle that's like again like this type of battle where one like just style clash in my opinion, and on top of that just again like when you're in the building as spectators, right, we're not always tuned in to everything that's going on. I mean, a segment of something that's missed. This happens with anybody. Jay Black has alluded to it, a bunch of people have alluded to it, like just the different things that you catch while you're in the building as opposed to on camera. But for someone like me, I take into account what I feel in the building, but I never really choose a winner, especially if I think like it comes down to a round. Like, if it comes down to a round, I'm not comfortable with saying like, oh, such and such won in this particular one.
I mean, that's cool, and I think it will be good for us to have a representative of at least one person that is in the building. So I actually think that's a plus. Justin, how do you feel?
I'm with everything. I'm with whatever you agree with. I'm too confident in Surf to lose this battle. So whatever you want to do, you do it.
So I'll be a judge.
I mean, we gotta agree to make it fair. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, if you need one of the 5, I mean, I watch everything, man. I'm gonna be watching.
I'll judge.
So.
I mean, all you gotta do is just say that you're gonna do it. If you say that you're gonna do it, then that's all.
I'm giving my opinion regardless.
It's so funny because like I got funny because like for me, like y'all fans, I'm talking about both sides. Y'all fans are like, believe it or not, the most biased fans, right? Because like if you're willing to like like when I be thinking about it and shit, right? I be like, so let's talk about Justin. All I gotta do is go in there and be searched. You're not telling Justin I lost. The same way with Dave, you get what I'm saying, type shit like that. Like that's already like it's funny, like it's a fan thing. You know what I mean? That biased man, like it's
that's why they need judges.
Yeah, so they need other opinions.
Nah,
exactly, and that's exactly what I told him in the DM too. I said we gotta make it fair because I literally typed that. I ain't a screenshot type nigga, but if Justin want to put it out there, I literally said, yo, bro, unless JC dive there, and you're not like I'm not gonna like, come on, you know me. So that's why we had to get judges.
Keep 100% say it all.
Hey, you know what? You know what I'm saying? I'm about to enjoy it's my birthday this weekend. I'm about to watch this shit, bro. I got you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate you. But I only say that to say I'm getting a bunch of people over. So I'm going to be watching in that environment. A bunch of people over, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm over here in VA. You know, I can't. I'm from the district, can't do anything about it. But we over here, bro.
All right, so what's that? That's Tico, that's J Smo, and that's M Lang. Is that correct?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3.
Okay. I mean, I said I'll do it too.
Oh, you will?
Sure, why not?
Cool. I thought you wanted to stay out of it. Okay.
I do want to stay out of it, but I'm giving my opinion regardless. Just take my opinion. That's how I see it. I don't think I'm judging. I'm just taking my opinion.
That's 4. Where is Damn on Wow? He ain't in here today?
Nah, I ain't seen him.
I was about to say, what happened to Anwar opinion? What happened to your opinion? What?
If they want to do it.
It's 5 now, man. We got champion at 6.
Yeah, we're gonna be champions.
I believe it's real simple. I heard everybody's point, and let me be very clear that I have no problem saying somebody lost the battle after.
Oh, that's a fact. They know that.
Prediction one thing, after the battle another. I think, and I said this last night, around about 9:53 on Saturday, it's gonna be real. Shout out to Geechi doing an after party. Miss Hustle, I'm sure gonna be there looking real nice and doing all that because we're gonna send JC off in the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he can't judge that. You can't have a prediction like that and then be a judge. You can't be a judge. He said we will send them off. What is you? Oh my God.
Understand what I'm saying? In the building, when we leave out of that building, I'm sorry, man. Shout out to JC. JC is a phenomenal talent. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm prepared to be wrong. I fully am. But if I gotta bet some money, I'm betting on Chris Rick has been too electrifying recently. Shout out to JC. He did. I don't know if it's called the UN finals, the headline battle. I don't think that was the headline. It just happened to go last. Anybody that's there knows that there was actually conversation about it going first. So, you know what I mean? It just happened to be that time. I think when there's elements to battle rap that I think people, I don't know if they just choose when they want to acknowledge it.
That's true.
It's not just
That's true.
when you're going last. You got to think, this is summer bags. They're sold out for 3 weeks now. Niggas gonna be there at 8, 9, 10 in the morning in line. These niggas not going on stage till 8, 9 at night. That's 12 hours of being on your feet, standing there, drinking, smoking, or whatever else. Bro, niggas like, that shit is different, man. And respectfully, I understand JC got DNA, DNA had 1 round. But they went third. And then Rum Dick, they went third. And then Iron, I think they might have went second.
I mean, him and T-Top was second to last. I get what you're saying.
I thought Nitty and JC went first too.
Maybe they did go first, but you see what I'm saying? There's a difference between being that first, second, or third battle when the crowd is fresh. Everybody's there to enjoy the event. Round about 9 o'clock, when these niggas on stage, bro, niggas' beats is hurting. People sitting there, they thinking about what they gonna do. And again, each and every got the after party. People gonna be getting excited for that. Like, it's gonna be a lot. It's a lot of pressure, man. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what side of the coin you on, Surf has been there. He's been there all 3 times last year, both times this year. It's like, bro, it just is what it is. So I think that level of there's nothing to prepare you for that. I be at a million events. People will
tell you, Surf will tell you himself. Bro, I rarely will stand on stage, even behind twerk. Rare. I'm still behind twerk in 2 battles. Because that shit is different. I standing there when Rock is getting that second round off, man, it was 165 degrees on that stage. I'm sweating fucking bullets, and he not even rapping. Standing there when the world is getting dropped on your fucking head. Oh, I'm trying to think, man. We've never seen JC actually fight back to bring the crowd back to his side. And in a situation like this, I don't believe they're going to be able to. I got to see you one clear, and there's probably going to be a lot of conversation about 30 in the building.
Dang. Hold it down. It's getting it. Hold up. Everybody relax. Stand patient. This is the executive suite. You know what I mean? Sip the tea. You know what I'm saying? Drink your water. Just relax for 10 seconds. God. Let's get back to it. Woosah. Calm. And then speak your piece. Let's keep that tone. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep that tone. God dang. All right, we good now? We good? Dang. Dang. Yeah, come on. Executive. We in office right now. Civil discussions. Yeah.
It's thousands of people in there, nigga. We in that motherfucker, man. I'm talking about, man, it's flower and brimstone, man, getting thrown across the stage.
Yeah.
So you can't even knock it. Like, Surf definitely a stage rocker. What I will say is this, because Jason here to speak for himself, but me being a fan, taking the CFB side out of it, just being a fan, I think when people misconstrue being able to, his style of being able to have a crowd in the palm of your hands quietly, listening, that's a skill in itself. I know. That's really a skill in itself. Like to have thousands of people when you to listening to you as you writing them lines and walking you down into that big haymaker hit. That's another skill in itself. That's something that I think gets taken away as far as when you bring up his performances. You dig what I'm saying? Like when you talk about the anime lines and all those type of things like that, we just seen it though the crowd wasn't as big versus the O-Red. It was still one of those tense situations where it's like when O-Red come out that first round the way he did versus JC, everybody like, oh, he out the turn. And then he just boom. You dig what I'm saying? So I think he understands how to defensively fight back in those situations versus those type of caliber battles. You dig what I'm saying? I think he's getting the short end of the stick as far as when the fans is looking at it like he ain't never been it, but like he been in the game for like nigga, I don't know how many years. You dig what I'm saying? He done been on enough big stages. He done battled in enough top level competition to where he know what this moment is. This ain't like not to knock Swamp or something, but say Swamp going against Tay Rock is more of a reach, like going he ain't, you know what I'm saying? JC been here for years doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't like a rookie going against Surf nigga. These is two juggernauts gonna go at.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
11 years. Yeah, like you acting like you going against a PT or something. Like nigga, this is a nigga that.
That's Anwar's delivery though. That's how he delivered. You know what I'm saying? Very confident in his opinion. I can't get mad at that. He said send them off.
Niggas say that shit prior to the battle, and then after the battle, fuck the win. Niggas don't say the type of nigga I just clipped. Like niggas are trying to check this shit. You don't believe like niggas that do that all before the battle. Then afterwards, I'm like, man, snipe one of them ones. When your twerk coming through, snipe one of them. Like niggas don't be saying that shit afterwards. Like the same.
No, that's a fact. Nigga gotta give a nigga that.
Like, come on, like what type of run you was on? Got it. Like niggas speak all that shit before you. Like had the same energy on his name. Like I be telling the fans. Obviously, you supposed to rock with gang. Naturally, you know how we rock. Feel me? Type shit. But had the same energy on his name when you. Alright, come on, man. It was a big stage. Surf's supposed to be like, nah, I had the same super go extra.
Yo, you know we give more. I feel like for the consensus battle, we give more credit to the big six. I feel like what you're saying is like as if we're downplaying the stage. I think URL gets the name of most difficult crowd because of their stages. That's actually there's more points.
Like the way y'all down, like it's like
I don't think we downplaying.
The niggas that y'all are entertained by all year, like when it comes to like these, these important battles, not the ones that just pop up, but the important ones. The niggas that entertain y'all all the time, and then when it's time to battle pin, it goes into this like the entertainment part of it don't matter no more. It's weird.
Yeah, but like, you know, nigga ain't talking about you, man.
Okay, I'm just trying to like get the, you know what I'm saying, like to pinpoint the situation. That's all. I glorify the stages.
that all the time. Like, you feel like you was wrong, you get on your show and admit that.
Oh yeah, we know that.
That's tough. We let him be down there doing that too, even though he trying to say clips for whatever I'm there.
No, I want to get to this compendium, but I think Dave, would you finish your sentiments regarding this Sue Surf versus JC?
Yeah, I definitely can.
Okay,
can.
go ahead.
I wanted to make sure everybody what's good.
Yeah, we know you got JC, but I want to let you explain your why.
Back in it now. Okay, so
go ahead.
I want people to understand why my biasness for JC is not the reason why I feel like JC is going to win. I have extensive facts.
Facts is a strong word in battle rap.
That lead me to believe that JC is about to win this battle.
Okay, talk to me.
I've been watching this since I was chess age. I'm 41 now. I remember when Mook and Party Artie battled. I can tell you how many people Hollow beat when he got the belt on 106 and Park. Like, I've been in this. So
7, right? 7 weeks.
All of these people for years, right? There was somebody who mentioned that this is what caused Surf to talk about bricks. And he was like, there is someone that you battled that was a lower tier that you got him up out of here. And Surf was like, yeah, he's dead, right? Of course. Combine never got to start a career. Luciano Crack got sent to King of the Dot.
Dang.
JC came in the game catching bodies.
Oh, that is a fact. Go ahead.
Look at his big stage performances. Because, of course, people are going to say,
I'm not cutting you off. I'm just bothering you, like, while you actually talk this shit. So while you be devil's advocate, I need you to check on the 2 niggas that I battled when I first got in the garage to get here. The first 2 niggas is no longer on Earth either. So when Surf came in, Regular Weeze is nobody now. The 2 niggas I battled is nobody.
Oh, I thought we were talking about URL. I thought you always say if it ain't on URL, don't count. I thought we were talking about URL. My bad.
Young Hill is gone. Some of the greats that I battled is still going. I got a 13-year run, but continue. I'm listening to Spitting the Tank. I'm going through my rounds. Come on.
Got you. Yeah. Young Hill. Okay, you
right.
That's
different though.
Young Hill beat you clearly though. Just to say that, but okay, cool. So JC came in catching bodies, and of course people are gonna be like, okay, well, let's talk about his big names that he battled. Let's talk about his big stage performances. Okay, let's talk about it. JC was on 2 Gnomes. JC was on 2 Summer Madnesses. On Summer Madness, JC caught 2 30s. He hasn't lost on Summer Madness. When he was on Gnome, he won both his battles on Gnome. DNA is a big stage battle, and of course we always go to that battle when we talk about JC being on a big stage and him coming out victorious. But I believe his performance versus Iron Solomon was even a better attack. I feel like from round 1 to round 3, the way he really spoke to Iron Solomon.
Dave.
The way he really... Go ahead.
Here's a little devil's advocate. I got 3 Summer Madnesses in. Which one I lost?
You got 3 Summer Madnesses in. Okay, K-Shine. People would say that you won the second and the third, although we remember Shine's.
His first was amazing. So I appreciate you being honest. Correct.
Listen, bro, I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater at all. I respect you. I just fuck with JC more.
As you should. I'm with it. And I think it was him, and I think John.
You exactly correct.
So
Hitman, you okay? That's correct. You're absolutely correct. But did you drop 30 though?
No. But
you dropped 30 though.
You don't need 30 to win.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay.
But if we're comparing big stage performances like you and the people that really fuck what you always like to say, and we gonna talk about it, sir, let's talk about it.
Okay.
On big stages, he was perfect both times.
So if we talking big stages, you can only name 2 of his big stages. I got 12. I got 8 Summer Madnesses and 8 Gnomes and 4 Summer Madnesses. So
right.
And if what big stages? Wait a minute, sir. You compare big stages of JC to big stages with Surf? That's you can't.
No, I'm comparing Summer Madness performances, sir.
Why only Summer Madness? A big stage is a big stage.
Well, because that's what we always say is the best, is the biggest and brightest. It's Summer Madness.
I think Gnome is an equivalent. I feel like Gnome is an equivalent though. Slightly under, but I think you can use Gnome as well.
Oh, JC,
I'm only a dickhead with niggas be dickheads. I'm talking to you regular like this. I'm not your funny.
Oh, for sure. So these are my reasons. I just feel like JC has been doing this on the level that he's been doing this since he's walked in and he's gotten better. Now, some people will say there was a fall off or a decline. I'm not gonna lie. 2017, he did take a couple losses. Loso did beat him clearly. But overall, consistently, if you go from 2010 when we first seen him versus Luciano Crack, all the way up to 2022, JC has been writing at an elite level, at a level where people aspire to want to write like him. He's been doing this. You got two choices: Nike or Timberland. Face the
truth. Get chin check.
Niggas always criticize the form when the shot's perfect. I don't know shit about anime. I'm Mike Turner. He's got quotables. He's been doing it. So I feel like he's at a level writing wise. Whereas Surf is
here we go.
Performance wise,
here we
feel
go.
like the gap, and I've seen you say this on an interview as well, sir. Right. I feel like the gap between JC's writing ability versus Surf's writing ability is wider than the gap in a performance right. Whereas JC can perform versus what Surf can do as far as performance. I feel like JC is very good on the stage. We talked about the champagne bottle. We talk about him saying, I know, when we criticize him for it, but that's crowd participation. Like, we know him for that.
So on the one side of the quarter where you say since 2010 we've watched JC Penn, can somebody argue that since the day Surf walked in, he's been the big stage goat from X Factor to K-Shine to Hitman since day one? Like Sue Surf never had no proving ground time. He never had no down between. He never had practice in the backyard or garage or at KFC or nowhere. He never had no practice. His whole career.
He never had no practice in the garage?
No.
Did you just say that?
In the beginning, that's what I'm saying. And once I got to URL, all my battles were upper echelon. So that's why my question that you posed was, when you use the word level, are you speaking on win loss, or are you speaking of the level of which we performed at? Because if you put my resume, I'm talking about resume, like the capacity of the battle, the magnitude of the battle, the importance of the battle, the effect it had on the culture. If we're putting that next to Mars and JC's, it's actually not close. What Geechi and Surf did for the culture, what Big T and Surf did, what Khan and when we talk about levels of, that's what I mean. So when you say levels, what do you mean? Like he's been performing at a level? Because I sound like, so what level have I been performing at my whole career?
Well, I mean, if I follow you correctly, the question that you're asking me is, when I'm talking about the level of his writing ability versus yours, are you
asking ability level?
Right. Okay, so
I got you. Not level of the product that you get, like not level of wow, like okay, I got you. I'm with you.
No. I mean, because I feel like y'all are elite for different reasons. So no, of course not.
So like let's say, so I'm trying to keep on. So like 2011, right? Surf, like I don't know if that was 12, whatever year that was. Surf versus.
Oh, I can tell you. I know.
It's 2012.
Surf versus, huh?
That's 7-1. 2012 was K-Shine. Go ahead.
Nah, Surf versus Khan in that room.
No, SM1 was 2011.
Oh, 2011. Pardon me. It's 2011. Yeah.
So
Pardon me.
What level of competition and like when does the level of competition and things like that start coming in? Like like the fact that, like I said, I've never battled a mid-tier or low. I don't even know what it's like to battle a mid-tier nigga. I've never done it. Like when does when we talking levels?
I knew you was gonna say this. This is why I started with the Summer Madness analogy.
One at a time.
That know how to do it.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, at that level that you're talking about, the level that you're talking about, because JC has many more battles than you and has caught many more bodies than you on niggas that we don't know or just lower level niggas. He's caught mad bodies. So I'm not talking about all that because y'all are going to say, oh, well, look at the level of competition. So let's go back. Like Summer Madness, the Super Bowl of battle rap.
Right.
He caught 30s. He's been perfect on Summer Madness. On Known, he's won his Knowns. This is what I'm saying. Against the likes of a Rum Nitty, against the likes of a Iron Solomon, against the likes of a DNA.
So why is his perfect different than my perfect if I never lost on Summer Madness? This is what I think about y'all like hallucinating. It's no different. You're just changing the number. I've never lost on Summer. You talking about?
Bro, I'm not hallucinating. What I'm trying to say. My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you good. This is all productive. Like I'm literally when you start talking, I start my first round. and I listen, and I'm trying to figure it out. Why is his undefeated different than my undefeated? Because it's a 30.
And this is what I'm saying. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. For your run that you had at the end of last year, right? People were giving you props for saying that you were catching 30s, right? This is something that was adding to. Okay, not only is he winning, he's catching 30s. This is what we're saying, right? So if we're saying that, and you clearly lost the first round to K-Shine, and you clearly lost the first round to Hitman. If we're saying this, then let's say it. He's perfect on Summer Madness.
I'm okay. I'm alright with that. Like for some fans to understand that, I'm alright with that. You know what I mean? Type shit, like with losing around. If that's what y'all judging, y'all like the premise of the base around of like, if we get to the point of that shows you when you really dealing with a juggernaut to the point of the intricacy of what we talking about. It's not you winning or your level that you're performing at. It's that a nigga got a round up on you. You talking to like that's almost.
But I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I'm not saying that's a negative thing, sir. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying if we're gonna compare, like this is all compare and contrast for me.
Okay, so if
I'm giving you the reasoning behind what I'm saying. So if we're gonna compare Summer Madnesses, what makes JC to Dave? What makes JC besides his obvious biasness for writers?
Right.
What makes Dave say, okay, I believe JC's gonna walk out of that building with the win. Okay, let's look at Summer Madness performances. Okay, Surf got a B plus, JC got an A plus. What else can I go?
Hold on. What's he gonna do? You'll give him one more minute to talk, and then open this conversation to the floor. I'll give him respect for it to be Dave and Surf. I'm gonna open this to the floor in about a minute. I got a minute to like really ramp up your argument or close it. Then the floor gets to speak on this situation. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Well, I'm just gonna try to make it as quick as possible. No, it's cool. I'm gonna try to make it as quickly as possible because although I am executive, I'm sure people are much more interested in what Surf has to say. So I'm just gonna.
No, we letting you rock, bro. We letting you rock.
Okay, so look, this is all I'm saying. I believe JC is going to beat you because I believe that he's going to angle with you. I believe he's got things to say directly to you. I believe JC's best work is when he's talking about his opponent. I believe your best work is when you're talking about yourself.
Right.
So, I personally, and I really don't even like talking to you like this because I feel like I'm turning on my man, giving you like little insights and shit. But I mean, I'm already here, so I gotta finish what I'm saying. I gotta stand on everything.
Yeah,
I say.
respect.
So I gotta stand on. But so I feel like he is going to talk to you. I feel like you're gonna win the first round. I feel like he's going to steal the momentum in the second, and I feel like his third is going to be better because he's going to have more pertinent bars that we walk out of there thinking about.
Okay.
Versus what you're saying to him in the third, because typically you have a fall off on the third, and typically JC elevates in the third.
Okay.
So all of these reasons is why I feel like JC is.
See, this can go on forever. That's why I gave you a minute.
Of course, you're sure you can win, of course, but Dave is putting his money on JC.
You got the best explanation. I wholeheartedly appreciate you. Like you get that's a full opinion of why you get. What I'm saying, like I feel like everybody else shit would be like shaded and jaded. You feel me? Like I'm cool with that because of why you break it down. Like there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine.
For sure, man, and that's why I wanted to let people know. Like, okay, yes, I am biased. Yes, I am, but outside of the biasness, no, this is the reason why I feel like JC is gonna win. Just like when I walked up to you at Genesis, and right after he 30's your man, and I walked up to you and I was like, "He just 30's your man. What you want to do?" And you just kind of turned away and continued to eat your cheeses. And I was like, "Yeah, JC won."
You know what I don't like, Dave?
What's that?
It's a certain thing in battle rap, right? It's a certain thing that like you ever see some you just can't take your eyes off of something, right? So now you say the fact that he 3-0 people and I 2-1 people on Summer Madness is the only thing that you could compare and contrast. When I can bring up multiple things that you could compare and contrast and only keep it on Summer Madness, I could say things like, why can you fit all three of JC's Summer Madness battles into one of my Summer Madness battles and viewership? Like, why do your Summer Madness battle shouldn't have 550,000 views or 620,000 views. And I say that not to speak on the views in the sense of even of how many points it is, but you have to get to a point of where if you're as good as you say you are, they will watch you. JC has a listen to me. JC has a battle out that just dropped 3 months ago that has 23,000 views. Do you know what happened if a Sue Surf battle like got on YouTube? And to somebody like you, that would not mean nothing. But to somebody like me that understands the analytics and pay attention to battle rap, you know what that shows me? Watchability, entertainment factor, replay value, things that you need. You know what I'm saying? And people like you, because you appreciate the pen so much, you can watch a battle one time. And a nigga like you must watch JC battles one time. You and his fans, because the shits be at 330, 420,000 views. Niggas watch me in a lot. Why? Because I do it high level. You get what I'm saying? So now he's about to stand in front of me on the stage and have to do what I do a lot. Like, even if your lines are cool, like, right, let's say you say the most wittiest Harry Potter Hogwarts stick bar you could ever think of. And I just say something that just resonates with all 1,500 motherfuckers that did it. It's the same difference. And it might not be a punch. That's the part that you and your guys, that's the part that you and your camp that's what y'all fighting against. I don't need a punchline to beat a nigga. I'm like, you said it yourself. This is a whole different art. 2 different battles. I hope you're not thinking I'm walking in there to try to pin against him.
No, I know. That would be foolish for your behalf. No, I know you wouldn't do that.
You got a whole other fight you got to think of. You're going to be like, man, why they acting like that in that room like he acting like he's saying the most best shit in the world? That's what you're going to be saying. Because that's what I do when I step on them stages. And you can't stop that. I done stood in front of niggas like Geechi Gotti, like Hitman Hollers, Geechi Gotti, and K-Shines, and Hollow the Dons. Your man ain't really peaked yet. Your man ain't, I'm talking about presence-wise. Presence. My presence alone, they scream when I walk out.
I hear you, and I'm saying it.
First thing you hit, when I say first thing I hit when I touch down, what you think they gonna say?
The Midwest moving shit.
Now, what can he say that they gonna do the same thing? That's my house, bro. You keeping that? It's like, and I respect your point 1,000%. I respect your point 1,000% because you make mad valid points. But you're missing the point of that he's in an uphill battle. I know what I'm doing, bro. I know what I'm doing. Like, listen, if you know how to drive a car, right? Let's say
I have a rebuttal to your question when you're done. Whenever you're done, I have a very
Putting your foot on the gas is only one key component to driving, bro. This shit is slapstick, bro. Pause. Like third, fourth, like it's gears to this shit. I got this shit figured out, bro. You talking to Toretto about racing?
He said Toretto.
I hear you. Now I just want to address what you said at first. Okay. I know this, so I know the answer to this question already because he's also my favorite rapper. Who's your favorite rapper?
Kiss, Hove, Bing.
Okay, let's stop there. Hove, right?
Mm-hmm.
The answer to your question, why is JC's battle count where his battle count is versus your battle count where your battle count is? You also said something else that I just want to let you know is not true. You said to niggas like you, that probably wouldn't matter. No, I get it. Y'all are box office. Y'all are what keeps the lights on, like you like to say. So no, I get it. I respect the viewership. I respect the popularity. Now, let's get back to what my point was. JP said,
hold on. That viewership and popularity comes from something though. That's the part. It doesn't go there.
I respect that.
It comes from the material though.
I respect that. Now let me get my bar off, sir.
Got you.
Okay, I respect what you're saying. I'm not saying you're trash, bro. You're not trash. Yeah, okay, cool. If skill sold, truth be told, I would probably be lyrically Talib Kweli. You already know the rest of the bar. Okay, now let's talk about the viewership, right? Just because niggas might be better lyrically than an artist doesn't mean another artist isn't going to have more fans if he's more popular or if he's more entertaining. So I can still say that JC is a better writer than you, and his writing ability surpasses yours, even though people don't watch him like they watch you. So what I'm saying is, just because you have a higher view count doesn't mean that you're better than him. That's my retort.
No. You see, now I know you listening to the half instance because I never said that my views don't correlate to me being better than him. My views
show how much, and that's the part that you don't want to accept. Listen, if it was so good, you would watch that shit a bunch.
I do, nigga.
So good.
I do. I watch shit.
Not enough. It's not enough for y'all, bro. It's not. It clearly, it's not. It's not enough for y'all, bro. Like you take, like, why do thugs sell more than Benny the Butcher? Excuse me, my phone call. Why do thugs sell more than Benny the Butcher? Shit like that. Like it's not that. I can't help that, bro. You take
it's accessibility though. It's accessibility.
Niggas not just clicking my battle for no reason, bro.
I'm trying to get to this compendium. I ain't gonna.
It's 23,000 battle rappers, bro. I'm clearly doing something in the right capacity, the right way. I got the blueprint, my dog.
Okay, I'm not arguing that though. I'm not arguing none of that. I'm not arguing your stuff. I'm not arguing none of that. Right. I understand that, but the basis of this debate that we're having is the battle. Like that's the reason why we're even having this conversation. So, but then with the point, we're talking about the battle, and I'm just giving you more reasons why I feel like he's gonna win. And then when you say something like, "Oh, well, if this and that," why is people not watching? And I'm telling you why. I'm telling you that sometimes it's a situation where people have to have a niche. They like a certain thing. And so if we fuck with the writers, it might not be as many of us that fuck with the street stories and, you know, the good material that you do have. And all of that shit that you do. It might just be more niggas that gravitate towards you. Here's a prime example. Tekashi 6ix9ine gets 68 million views. He's not good.
We're not gonna bring up that. That's totally different.
He's not good though.
We talking about you say not good, but then you talking about surf and saying surf's not that. Two different conversations. You talking about a nigga that do the numbers and stack. Like I'm in the top. Like what do you mean? What the fuck was I number 3 champion of the year last year? What are you talking about? We talking about
you were number 3.
We talking about somebody that's good and got the numbers though. Talk to me like me. Don't compare me to somebody that got the numbers but not good. Talk to me like I do 9 million and I'm great. Like I average 2.2 million views and I break the business.
You do. This is all a fact. This is all a fact.
It's not one or the other. I need you to talk to me like the shit was sold out in 2 days.
I got a question real quick.
Yeah, we gotta go to the floor for this one, man. Y'all conversation going forever.
I was just gonna ask, are we still gonna do the compendium? Because I know we kind of.
I mean, yeah, that's what I want to get to. No, you good? We give you the all the time.
Hey, Dave, I just followed you, bro. I appreciate you 1,000, bro.
Hey, it's no problem, bro. And you know I'm being authentic because I'm the same nigga in the throwback big jersey that came up to you when you was eating the Cheez-Its in 2020. Like, I'm the same guy.
It's love, bro. I promise you it's love, my nigga. I said, follow me back, nigga.
For sure. And the last thing I wanted to say about the whole, like, if we love Penn so much, why don't get viewed as much? I think it's accessibility. I feel like, obviously, Surf just, like, does... And then truthfully, I feel like, again, Surf promos more. He does music. So he has obviously a wider handprint. A wider handprint, right? I don't necessarily think there's a lot. Like, bro, in the pandemic, small rooms and Penn saved battle rap. So you can't even say
pandemic.
You can't say that like there's not a lot of people that I understand that, but you can't change the fact that it saved battle rap. Battle rap was on life support during that time period.
I got so much to say about pens, but it opened the conversation to something else. I don't want to do that right now. Just pen talk. You gotta.
I just wanted to say that a lot of people in the culture respects Fizz. It just so happens that the performers and the people that entertain at a high clip obviously are going to go viral often. They're going to create more moments. It's a little bit more accessible. The same thing with the industry. Like in the industry, like you ask why does Young Thug sell more than Benny the Butcher? It's because Young Thug is a lot more accessible in pop culture compared to Benny the Butcher. It's not a separation of talent.
You know how performers feel some type of way. Like for example, right? Let's say hypothetically Blake Griffin only could dunk, right? But then you got a nigga like let's say that could dunk, but also got all the other accolades. But because he do everything else, it's like you act like for Brock. If I could put the ball between my legs, like pause, like you know what I mean? Like I can, you know what I'm saying? I can do all the like. It just don't be making sense like how much you lean on like for y'all to be such advocates of the culture and understand the culture so much and have seen this culture. Like the same pins that y'all speak so highly of, like y'all are literally like all these niggas, every time they get on the card, it's like we popping balloons and popping confetti because like
Like, where's Chilla, Summer Madness? Where's all these pins, all these that y'all request on Tapia, that y'all speak
But we know in battle rap, it's what sells, and penmanship is not always going to be the thing that sells, especially on a Summer Madness.
Oh my goodness! I gotta say it now. We gotta get into this now.
I got other stuff to talk about, so I'm gonna get back to this shit. Like, I'm gonna say the fact that y'all lean, that y'all think that what goes on in that room is what sells is actually kind of scary. That some people think like that. It's about what sells.
No, but hold on.
That's only what sells is kind of scary.
Hold on. Like I think Shots LCR, they said the best. We for some reason I feel like we're stuck in the ways of what pen is and who's the pen, and we just label niggas. Eazy the Block Captain's one of the top pens.
He is.
He's one of the top pens. I want to add more people to this pen category because it's not about just these same 5 niggas that's been from since 2011. It goes beyond a Lux, a JC. It's a lot of niggas.
Yo, one day, J Black, you gotta do an experiment. Like, we gotta really like set a battle up, but like purposely, like literally, legitly make somebody else write somebody else. Like, it's literally who it's coming from. It's the
we said this on Champion Mace already. We said the person. Yeah, we got this thing called Anatomy of a Haymaker.
That's on. Like, if I make a, which is something to scheme about something. Like, I correlate 4 or 5 things. Nobody's gonna say, oh, he's scheming. They gonna like, oh, he just put like, oh, that's Philly. He just thought like, why is he naming so many dogs? I think that Jones named 52 dogs. He's pinning, or he put 52 continents. Like y'all, like niggas laying away from performers because we can do everything. Because I can lift the gun and spin around and slide across the stage while I'm saying this shit. Don't take away from what I'm saying.
I don't think that's the case. I think it's like Black mentioned earlier, it's categorizing certain situations, right? So even like we just spoke earlier and said that like, you know, Danny at this particular point in time is a puncher and a pin. You know what I'm saying? It's predicated on what people widely categorize someone as or whatever. So I get what you're saying. I 100% get what you're saying.
It's like,
and that goes back to me saying,
for me to just show what I did, like, and I'm just talking about my material, not even somebody else's opponent. For like somebody to see, like, for you to see my material come out, me versus Twerk, and then like something like the AR Twerk or the, you know what I mean, like. So like I'm trying to figure out what is somebody seeing. So when somebody's receiving this, like, are they seeing performance? Are they seeing me writing? Like, Twerk shit was like the Twerk rounds was pinned crazy. Like them.
It was great writing mixed with great rapping and cadences.
Right. See, I don't. But that's the part that performers don't hear. We don't get that. Like, it's never great writing. It's just like, oh yeah, the crowd. He got the crowd excited. Like,
and this is why I made it a point to say to Hitman and give him his flowers because people just felt for so long he just performed. So I feel like versus Bill Collector, this man was rapping and just going bar for bar.
He actually was a great rapper. Like, if you look at his Big T performance, he has bars. You look at his other earlier works, he didn't really get into the performance bag until, like, you know what I'm saying, the Arsenal and stuff out. I mean, he had performative bars, but he wasn't really coined like a performer until like that Arsenal verb situation or whatever. He actually was always a really good rapper. So.
Hold on, while we got Surf, I want to get to this compendium. I retweeted it for a reason. You know, I'm pretty sure you saw it, sir. There's no way you didn't see it. I don't even tweet. It's my page. I don't tweet. You got to see my tweet. Come on. How you feel? You see it? It's my latest tweet.
So it should pop up here in a second. Hey, I'm just gonna take this opportunity while we waiting on this to pop up.
Yeah.
First, we don't give a fuck what Eazy did with Goods. We still want to see you versus Goods, and I want to see.
Oh my God, this nigga.
Okay. Can I get a response?
Go ahead.
There's no problem with that. There's no problem with, like I said, I would hope to think that, but you said your band since you was 14. Like, I consider myself not being arrogant in a battle rap. I'm a prize fighter. That's how I like to play the game. You get what I'm saying? So I would rather take a JC coming off a tournament 15-0, Danny Myers doing such and such. It's like, for me, it goes like that. So a nigga taking a 3-0 loss to somebody, it do move your space. It don't say we can't battle. It don't say win. But since day one, I've always been, who's hot, who's right now, who's, like, come on, either niggas is kicking right now. Danny's acting a fool right now. JC's acting a fool right now. I'm not taking a nigga that just want to buck 20 coming off a 15-0 or come against a nigga that just 30. And then where I end up on the card. Third on the third spot, second to the bottom of the note. Give me the main event, big jump. No, I like JC.
No, I agree with you. JC was perfect for Summer Madness right now. I'm just saying, in the future, we still don't want to see it. Is all I'm saying.
You're you're not gonna find no flaws in me saying I will never like it's like unless I'm on some you know what I mean some being facetious. You know what I mean? Like I would never ever.
Yeah, but I was just about to say, niggas, it's one when you was a young poor man with a do rag on. I was about to say,
me being a fun. It's the same thing when I popped the bottle when Cortez lost. That's me being a battle rap. You gotta understand the difference between the two. No, a battle can happen, but at the same time, no, do something now. Stop 30. Don't waste my time.
Okay.
These numbers for the compendium are very interesting.
All right, yeah, let's get to this real fast. So first of all, I'm guessing you don't know what compendium is. So normally on Twitter you have polls, or even on the app where they can just depict who's gonna win a battle. But the compendium is they have to ask them about 5 to 7 questions about your bars, your history, whether you and JC actually happened. So they answer quick before you can even go to a vote. And with that being said, it's like 10 different categories in which they vote on who's better. So with that being said, the current vote to who's going to win this battle is 67% in favor of you, 33% for JC. Creativity, content, 84 for Surf, 88 for JC. Crowd control, 98 for Surf, 84 for JC. Impact, 96 for Surf, 79 for JC. Structure, 85 for Surf, 87 for JC. Tailored, which means being direct to the opposition, 83 for Surf, 86 for JC. Performance, 95 for Sue Surf, 75 for JC. Rapping ability, 90 for Sue Surf, 85 for JC. Bars, 83 for Surf, 92 for JC. Hold on, ring IQ, pardon me. Ring IQ, 95 for Sue Surf, 87 for JC. What's your response to this?
That the performance is a travesty on JC side. I don't know if that's like 75. It's kind of like even if it was 80, 82, you know what I mean, type shit like that. 75 is like 75 is really like that fuck up a nigga's score. His rating would be like 79 on 2K. Fuck with that 75 performance. Y'all wow, and that's not. I don't like that 75.
I would have liked performance to be higher. When we talk about performance, Well, when we talk about performance for JC, we're primarily talking about stage presence, but there's other elements of performance that goes into it.
So I hear separate things.
I think stage presence is a part of performance. But I think it is.
I added for this vote. I mean, I added stage presence. I gave him 80. I gave him 80.
Listen, Goods has stage presence, but he's not a performer. A person can have one without the other, but not one without the other. If y'all get what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like you can't be a performer without stage presence, but you can have certain niggas that walk on a stage and they have stage presence, but that don't matter. You don't have to be a performer. That's why I feel like they too. But I'm fucking with you. Like I understand.
Is that the only discrepancy you see? I mean, what else for you?
I don't know. Yeah, that the bars is kind of stupid. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually stupid. Like I got some of the most quotable shit. Like and like I'm one of the most quotable niggas like doing this shit. That's kind of stupid right there. But the rest of this shit is perfect. Like I don't know, y'all did your thing like this fine. Type shit. I don't think that 1%. I really think he's better than what niggas be giving him the credit for. But that go with the narrative. Like the culture really sets the narrative, regardless of what we say. So it's trying to be like this. Like they set in this Dave nigga live narrative. That's why that shit like 67, 33. But then it's also what Dave said. When it's time to start clicking that button and voting, then here come all the surf fans against the.
But that's the thing about Champion Gold. It's not full of like just biased fans. This is cut off from the world. This is not Twitter. This is not Twitter. I can identify every person that voted on this poll. I know exactly what they said. I got the results.
So
and I think this was a fair representation.
I'm just going to pull up and do the back end for my back end.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I do think there's like when he's averaging out these numbers, it's a very, very small sample size. So that also plays a role too. So
when you say a small sample size, you mean as opposed to like because out on Twitter, like when URL puts a poll up, when I put a poll up, or LTBR or any other media outlet, it gets like 2,000. So I guess it's small into 2,000 or 5,000, but I think it's a good sample size.
That impact slot is a part that like somebody like Mr. D, like people that don't take into like consideration because it's like a nigga might say something that's fire, but by the time you get down to halfway of house on the way, you know what I mean, halfway down the highway headed home, you don't remember it. Now a nigga say some shit that's just Tar Heels wasn't the most perfectly pinned bar ever. It wasn't. but it was impactful. Niggas don't understand, like niggas don't know how you get, like, all right, well, how do you go from top tier to like upper echelon superstar? It's called impact and moments. Impact and moments beat bars and lyrics.
I feel like with the Tar Heels bar, I think that's more of like the rapping ability. So I feel like you built it up in a certain way. It wasn't really like pinned like crazy, but it's like the momentum that you had going up. I feel like there's certain battlers, yourself, Verb at a point in time, and Hitman just have great momentum in terms of rapping pockets and building your way up into a haymaker. And I feel like a lot of people I think people are starting to understand now because you kind of like shown it more. I feel like a lot of people don't understand the importance of being able to rap really well to get to a certain segment of the game.
Yeah, to get there, you know what I mean? And I think, yeah, I'm with you. I agree with you.
Hey, I just want to jump in since I was addressed. No, I agree with you, sir. That's the one category I gave you 100 in. Was impact. I mean, let's be realistic. And I'm such a real nigga, bro. Like, let's be realistic. You are in the battle culture right now. Like, as far as who knows about battle rap and who speaks for battle rap, it is Too Surf. I believe it was Mook at one point, and I believe for me it kind of is still Mook, but on a global scale or on a fan scale, I believe you are that guy. So I did give you Impact 100. I gave him Impact 80, but I believe y'all impact the game for different reasons. I feel like JC's biggest impactful moment for me was him actually having the best battle of the Summer Madness 2 weekend, although he wasn't on Summer Madness 2. I feel like Chilla Jones versus JC is a better battle than any battle that was on SM2. So that's where I feel like JC is impacted, and I feel like your impact is a little bit different. But I did recognize it. So
one thing I wanted to highlight, Black can correct me on this or not. Didn't Black label you like the pinnacle? Well, I want him to kind of go into detail as to why, because I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, I said a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Surf, and I think he should recognize the things that I've said prior to, even when he wasn't here. Just saying. Anywho, before he got his resurgence, you know what I'm saying, as of right now, pretty much undefeated, not losing rounds like that, people really went inside. I saw this. I mean, I feel like he gave glimpses of what he is now. Back then, I feel like he was the pinnacle of battle rap, and he's reaching, or he's at that point right now. So I feel like what Dave just said, like he is that guy. But yeah, I said years ago, 2017, or even before that, he was the pinnacle of battle rap. And I stood on that. I got heat for that. I got killed for that. But anyway, we here now. I'm a prophet. Go ahead, though.
If I can pop in real quick, this will be my last little comment. I'm gonna have to head out. Got the class, but I wanted to say in terms of the compendium for JC and Surf, I feel like the biggest one that JC got disrespected in was crowd control. I feel like he's not much of an actual performer in terms of his movement per se, but a lot of his stage presence comes from controlling the crowd, his pace, and to me, I'm cool with the performance stat being the way it is. Just because I believe that should be closer. And as for bars, I think it more has to do with intricacy. I think when people are grading bars, they talk about the level of doubles and triples. Obviously, you're both capable of both, but JC does stretch himself all if necessary, but does push his pen to further limits in terms of the concepts, maybe some of the more, layered and in-depth stuff he does. But I just wanted to say that I was heading out. It's been a pleasure to be up here, chopping up with some of all the same battlers as well. Always great to be up here, Black. My YouTube is JSmo Reviews. Just like my Twitter here, I do only battle rap content. We don't do drama. We don't cover any of the in-between stuff. We review battles, review bars, review history. But it's been a pleasure to be up here, man. And I wanted to say one more thing. Clips for the 2K rating whenever you get to that.
All right.
For clips. But peace, y'all.
Hey, I appreciate you, man, for helping us out, man. You have a good night.
Bless, sir. I mean, we went over time, and we're supposed to do a lot of things, but obviously the battle rappers, giving us perspective, just added to that time. So we're going to miss off some of these topics. So I should go live again at some point to discuss the other things. But you're supposed to do from 3 to 5. It's 3 to 6. Sheesh. So anybody got any closing statements?
Yeah, if we do a 2K rating, I would want to do clips next. I think it'd be very interesting to see like where his rating would rank alongside like a Hitman that we did previously. And I think it kind of sets the safety net of like where we rank a certain certain stature battlers at what area. So I think that just sets the foundation of how we go about rating other people. Very, very excited for Summer Madness, man. I feel like this is probably one of the biggest cards that we've had this year. A lot of big matchups, a lot of, I'm going to say a lot of Cody implications.
Most certainly.
Battles, you know what I'm saying? Just very excited for this last quarter of the year.
I think JC Cody champion. I think JC Cody win or loss.
Don't hold on. What is he, bro? If he's trying to close out the conversation, and don't do that, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Like, I feel like the premise of champion of the year is not. It's win or loss, but it's really, really not. Once you get down to the specifics, it's not. It's a body of work and what you embody. It's like, for me, it's battler of the year. You get what I'm saying? So we're talking about what he's doing as far as being 15-0, as far as winning the.
But that 15-0 is not this year.
Huh?
That 15-0 is not this year.
I mean, it's not the whole year, of course. I'm not saying it's the whole year, but I'm just talking about we're talking about the battler. For me, this is my opinion if I'm on the panel, right? We're talking about the battler in present time, though. I can see if that whole 15 was not in the year. At the current day today, even if it's only 4 or 5 battles that you get added in for that, he's 15-0 at today's date, walking into the biggest stage of the year, main eventing it against one of what you call it, the pinnacle of battle rap right now. Win, lose, or draw, as long as he put up a fight, it's nobody that could cover that much ground in the next 3 months unless they have another 6.
But that sounds good, but the actual outcome of the battle plays a very important factor. Are you going to make this battle debatable? Or are you going to give him a round? What's going to happen?
If he get washed, then
that hurts.
Somebody moves closer. But with the JC, I'm feeling like JC's a smart guy. Like, he's a smart guy. Like, he's going to come in there and show up. So if this is anything nearly of a preference or debatable.
Oh, if it's debatable, yeah. I mean, that sounds wonderful.
Like, if you say, even if if you was to say, I got Surf 2-1 slight edge, JC's champion of the year.
It has to be.
That's my opinion.
It has to be Rum Nitty A-Ward. Like, I can say Nitty won first and third, but I wouldn't be mad at somebody if they say A-Ward got the second and third. I wouldn't be mad at that. You got it?
Right.
It got to be that.
That type of shit. So if you had
and a classic.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it's JC. It's okay. Like, you don't cover that much ground. Your resume don't look like nobody's resume. I'm talking about adding everything from the quality to the competition to what stages. His $100,000 battle was also unknown. That's a double down, please.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree, but I always like see it like this. Anything can happen from card to card, and on top of that, like, we really break down the criteria of certain things. Sometimes stuff, like, we look at it, if we're trying to use the eye test, sometimes stuff seems very, very clear up until we compare it to other stuff, and you know what I'm saying. But I agree with the sentiment of, like, he's most definitely in the driver's seat right now.
So we'll see what happens versus. Yeah, we'll see what happens versus Surf to even really home that point in. So we'll see what happens.
Y'all be good, man. God is good, man. Jay Black, have a good day. All y'all have a good day, man.
Bless you.
Y'all for the motivation.
I see you on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Man. My last words, man. I just picked up some more of these new hoodies, man. We be out there in Charlotte, man. If you see me, man, scream at me, man. EFB. Hoodies on deck, man. You know the EFG will be in the building, man. We got the National Party Friday night. Make sure y'all do stop by the Gun Title Meet and Greet as well. We also got the after party, after the battles, man. And if you're still out there Sunday, we're going to be vibing, man. Some local Charlotte battlers doing some battles in the daytime. It's going to turn into a function after that, man. You know what I'm saying? We had Cloud Shake Friday. We had First and Gold Saturday, man. And we had the Jamaican Flavor on Sunday.
Salute.
You know, we just vibing, man. And we had the Summer Madness going up, man, watching some dope battles, man. EFB, man, you already know what the fuck going on, man. Shout out Danny, JC ain't coming home with W.
Talking shit.
Hey, Geechi, real quick, man. Tell JC it's niggas that want to buy hoodies and merch from him. Tell him drop some hoodies and merch, man.
Man, real though. But though he had something at one point, I believe I'm gonna be back with that.
Yeah, I need condolences, man. I wanted to wear it Saturday, but
that'll be hard if you had a condolence. You know what, man? Y'all got to start pressuring that, man. As some fans saying that shit, the batters, when they start seeing more and more shit like that from the people, like, requesting it make it easier for them to, because, putting your money up hitting that shit, then motherfuckers don't got no demand for it. It kind of be tough for you to want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I'm the chairman of the condolences crew, aka Team Reapers. I done been tweeting this nigga for years. I done talked to NHB. I done did all I could do as a one person.
nah, that's a fact. Nah, we gonna see you this weekend, man, and get on you for sure, man. Cause I definitely rock some of that shit my damn self as soon as we get going. You know what I'm saying?
All right, salute to everybody in this chat, man. Again, it's going down 9:24. All the talking is basically, it's not done. We got face offs on Friday. Oh, by the way, I feel like these face offs, I shouldn't have to say anything. It's a conversation with JC and Surf. You see it. Tay Rock and Swamp already had a conversation. Danny and Fine, so I got to speak on some stuff. Calicoe and Eazy, I should have asked a question for that. I think, you all could save some money and smack through the face offs. Low key, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not much I need to say. It's one question and they just go pop off. That's how it should be. Look at all the shit we talk about. We talk for 3 hours on what this person can say, what that person can say. I'm just saying. But I'll be there though. I've already been paid. Just saying. Champion. My fault. Pardon me. Anywho. Thank y'all for being in this spaces. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? We prioritize battle rap. I think there's a lot of things y'all want to address, but y'all already knew that's not really my lane. That's not what I do. This is what we do right here. That's what we do. We talk battle rap, the nuances, the sports. Who wins, why. You just seen Dave try to Dave and us and Surf go at it strictly on like content basically. And what you done in the past, and you see that's what we do. That's what we specialize in. That's what we continue to specialize in. Come to us for this. That's it. Y'all have a good one. We out.
All right. Y'all have a good night, executives.
Yes, sir. Caffeine, we still here. If you here with us right now, the actual visual part of the show is about to start. Shout out to the Shadri is currently busy right now doing big things. But Mark and Anwar will be here. We'll have the visual, hot, spicy, if you will, debates regarding this card. You know what I'm saying? We feel different ways. We'll see what happens. But the actual champion crew will be here. I think about 15 minutes. So just stay tuned. We're gonna cut off and then cut back on. You want me to leave the live? What you want me to do? Leave the live on? What you want me to do right now? Put a 15-minute timer up? What you want me to do? Or start new? Leave on, leave on. They saying leave on. Say less. Say less. Take a 15-minute break, say less. But I need everybody to come back in, though. I think people are exiting as the conversation. I think the visual content is actually where it's at for us, with all due respect. You know what I mean? The HD. Talking about the shit of broadcast. Leave it on, play some music, say less. Whereas Ace will be here on Thursday, I think. So we'll have Ace on Champion on Thursday. And our conversation will be a little different. It's going to be SM talk. One thing that I was talking about in the spaces is that the pen, the performer. I'm not liking that, bro. I'm not liking that at all. This categorizing and this person. Everybody got a pen, bro. I want to make a statement that everybody has a pen. Now what? How you feel? In order to write, you got to have a pen, right? The level of pens. And I feel like what happens a lot of times, that's why I mentioned Hit and Holler, what happens a lot of times is that the fact that someone is good in everything or a lot of things, right? They get discredited, they get penalized, and they're not being brought up for that reward. Danny Myers is everything. Why can't he be labeled a puncher? Or why when they mention who's a puncher, why does he get nominated? Why? Why not? There are different levels, but let's use Danny Myers. Danny Myers is what his punch. Who punched better than him for real? I'll give you the abs. I'll give you the knees for real. But I can say Danny's a better puncher than everybody else. Now what? How you feel? And him versus Fonze, now what? But when we mention punches, we don't mention his name like that. We don't mention like probably you, Shotty M like probably you, but the consensus, we immediately go to Av, Run to the Av, 1A, 1B, B Magic, Fonze. DNA, a respected legend and battle rapper, literally just jump Fonze up there. Why can't we mention Danny Myers? What if I want to mention somebody else? I think so JC for pens, right? JC's a crazy ass puncher. He does it back to fucking back. I could put JC in my top 5 for pens. Now what? I mean for bars. Now what? But we categorize and we label things a certain way. Now we gotta be robots and we all gotta think this way. No. Break the box. Break the box. Break the mold. Break the monotony. We're not gonna roll by and oh, these are the top guys. I have to pick. Shout out to this no disrespect to QP. I gotta pick QP as the I gotta pick this person as a number one. No. Uh-uh. 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 For me, what we're gonna discuss is everybody's a pen. Now let's discuss the levels and put a top person there. Everybody's a puncher. Now let's discuss the levels and put them there. You're right, it's levels. I agree. Everybody's a performer. Let's discuss the levels and put them there. Because basically what's happening right now is, right now, that's why the agenda for the compendium is labeling different categories, right? Performance. Performance. What if there's a performer with a 95 in performance and 95 in bars? But since the performance, who's like that? I don't know who's like that, respectfully, all due respect, right? A 95 performance, but the fact he's performing he's a big stage person, right? We say, oh, this is what he is. He gets completely overshadowed when it's time to nominate for the Bar Award. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's time to break shit, bro. We make the rules, man. In terms of rhetoric, we make the rules, man. We make the rules, man. Stop playing me, man. Stop playing. We make the rules, man. For the talk. No, I'm saying for Hitman and Bill Collector, they kept saying performance. I think Hitman did a lot of things. Just saying. That's too many hybrid battlers now. That's what I'm saying, bro. All right, let's use. We can use different. Since we use sports already, since we use boxing. Let's use fucking Pokemon. Y'all play Pokemon when y'all was a fucking kid. Yes, y'all did. Don't do that, bro. Hitman Holla had a Charizard bar. Swamp and Twerk talked about Jigglypuff. So don't. I'm a gangster. I never know a Pokemon. Y'all know a fucking Pokemon. Y'all know what Pikachu is. Y'all know the first 150. Yeah, sure. Yes, the fuck you do. Don't lie. You do. So basically, back in them days with the red cartridge, the red and I think the blue cartridge of Pokemon, right? Look at the stats. They had like 4 categories. Go to a Pokemon nowadays, right? And look at the stats. You don't got to play. Just look at the stats and what they do. It's special attack. It's this, and it's like 7 different things to go by because the game has changed. It's elevated. You hear me? Talk that much champion. Facts. I know the first 150. All y'all do. But it's elevated where they rank it and they do things differently. You have attack and special attack. You know what I'm saying? We gotta change things. We control this, bro. It doesn't battle rap talk doesn't advance without us. Bro, and you see this, and this is no offense, this is no shot to anybody else. The majority of people focus on the drama, right? Again, this is no shot, no diss. And they supposed to, bro. Honestly, I'm being about keep it a buck. I'm supposed to be talking about some of that stuff too. I should be addressing a few things. I should. But I feel like in this lane, it's not people focusing entirely on the nuances of the sport, bro. We gotta advance this argument. We gotta advance this talk. You know what I'm saying? The controller looked like what back in the day? How the controller look now? We're on the PS5 of controllers, bro. We gotta show it. We gotta document it too. And this is why you have the compendium. This is why you have visuals to what we're saying. So they can pick up what we put it down a lot easier. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Because if we don't do it, nobody gonna do it. Who gonna do it? 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 I'll wait. Y'all been playing, man. Eazy gonna do it. Cal gonna do it. JC might do it. Yo, if JC, I think Surf's on that point. If JC has a debatable with Surf, oh my god. I don't think he gonna win. This is debatable. Sheesh. Numbers going back up. Appreciate that. No, I'm about to do a 15-minute timer. The race is very interesting. I love it. My thing is this, right? And notice like we haven't been. M Lang is not again. He don't work for Champion. Niggas at Champion work for like Aaron don't work for Champion. He's just Champion, right? You can say whatever you want. Who else was in the spaces? Tito, you can say whatever. Dave can say whatever you want. All you do is say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. You can pick any league y'all want to rank niggas. To rank any other media outlet or blogger, you can pick whatever they want. But what are they saying now? Who is the race between now? So what I'm saying is, at the end of the year, I don't want to hear this J Black URL bullshit. This propaganda bullshit when all for the majority of the time, this for right now until the end of the year, what y'all keep we're gonna be our artists. And it's just common sense and science and logic. These niggas battling so frequently, consistently. So don't get mad at me, bro. I'm not even talking. I'm not even saying nothing. In fact, I'm the nigga that keep bringing up bill collector. Yo, bill collector still there though. Bill collector. So I don't want to hear that. Like, oh, we're not doing that. Wish you could have met you at Bill Collector Sudden Death on Sunday. Oh, is M Lang still in the chat? Sir, we gotta reschedule our days, man. We gotta do it a week after. Something came up. Yeah, and Mr. Lang, I'm not. Is it possible to revisit the week after? Is that a possibility? So I'm asking you why you here. Can you come back to Philly again? All right, then we set then. I think the Monday after Monday. You know what I'm saying? It's lit. I got you. That's my fault, but something popped up. It'll make sense when it makes sense and when it's time for me to say it, but something huge popped up. All right, so we got you. Yeah, I'm put some music on and we gonna get ready, but the cast about to come in. Mark literally just texted me that he's minutes away. I don't want to be outside, low key. I don't want to be outside. All right. Shout out to Arcade, by the way. Arcade went up. Thank you. Arcade went up, responded to me promptly, and I'm getting a new marquee for the Mortal Kombat 2, so I can refix it and make it an actual machine how it's supposed to be. And on top of that, they send in my Killer Instinct. Not only did they refund me the difference, they refunded me the difference, they're also sending me like the fresh everything. So we all set. Shout out Arcade went up, and they did it in a good amount of time, so it's lit. And that's how things should go. You got a problem with somebody, speak about it briefly, and then when they fix it, let everybody know they fixed it. I'm just saying. So I'm saying with leagues and everything, just show love on both sides. Don't always be, don't do that. Don't do that. But all right, let's play some music. Let's get to it. I'm getting a whole bunch of messages saying that the space was really good. Shouts to everybody in the space. It wasn't just me. Of course, I was coordinated, but we had a lot of good speakers. We had very good speakers up there. I think the battle rappers put pressure on y'all, so y'all came a little more correct than usual. And I say it with all respect, y'all came a little more correct than usual. I'm just saying, niggas was on point. 3 minutes straight, 3-minute rounds, 3-minute explanations. Like, sheesh. With that being said, I'm going to hold you to that lane. I'm going to hold you to that. It's my shit, though. Back in about 5 minutes.
She don't know my name, but she know how I taste. You don't know my pain, you just see how I wear this shit. Most you niggas lame, so I don't really care to keep. The fact that I brought gang, I really hear this bitch. Niggas ain't got aim, but we aiming at something different. I'm trying to get my little niggas up the system. These niggas want attention, mentions, 1,000 bars for sale. I just pulled up a kitchen. Can't remember the last time I was in the hood on purpose. I swear if you see me in the hood, I'm working. See me in the hood, I probably on the same shit as you. Watch playing peekaboo, moving like I got some shit to do. Appetite medicinal, no notepad. Why should I have to write the shit I do? I sent your hoe back, now you gotta worry about the kitchen crew. Don't post no throwback, your last tweet was invincible. All these motherfucking battle rappers one dimensional. Play my round, skip they shit, I don't listen to them. All these gun bars, but the shit is draws if I put a blicky on me. I got some strong sticky on me, I'm from California. Niggas be hating, I can smell it on them. Tell her be patient, it's gonna be pandemonium. She got deep weight, call it melatonin. On the freeway, with 100 of them on me, right? If everything don't go right, I'll be somewhere out the country. I'm scrapping with my bunkie with a guards call you monkeys. The way I love my daughter, I can't take no orders from a hunk. When they flip the quarter, I still feel like it ain't 50. She don't know my name, but she know how it tastes. You don't know my pain, just see how I wear this shit. And most you niggas lames, I don't even care to kick it. The fact that I brought gang, I really hear this bitch. Niggas ain't got aim, but we aiming for something different. Try and get my little niggas out the system. Hey, these niggas want attention. Mentions, 1,000 bars for sale. I just do it in the kitchen.
What's up, sir?
How you doing, sir?
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You nervous?
Oh yeah. I'm a little bit. Not too bad actually, but kind of want to get it over with. And I'll be nervous on the day.
Oh yeah. Let's see if you cry.
I already know.
I did. Cried a little bit. I teared up.
Yeah, I'll get welled up.
Yeah.
She don't know my name, but she know how it tastes. You don't know my pain, just see how I wear this shit. And most you niggas lames, I don't even care to kick it. The fact that I brought gang, I really hear this bitch. The niggas ain't got aim, but we aiming for something different. Try and get my little niggas out the system. Hey, these niggas want attention. Mentions, 1,000 bars for sale. I just pulled up a kitchen.
Tired of talking yet? You tired of listening? That shit went on for a while.
Yeah, it kept on. We were supposed to do from they took it here too. They were supposed to do from 3 to 5. We went from Surf pulled up, Geechi pulled up, Hustle pulled up. I'm like, damn.
I was in and out. Oh, Hustle pulled up too?
Everybody pulled up. Yoshi pulled up towards the end. She, Ace.
I was listening on my way here. I saw Surf and Dave going back and forth.
Yeah. They kept. I'm like, I want him to get all his shit off, but it's like, it's like 30 minutes. Like, you're not gonna stop.
You're not
gonna stop.
Good conversation. Still.
Yeah, really good conversation. They probably stole it already.
Yeah, probably.